So you have the muse basically stuck in your bag of holding, the box with the muse.
Oh, okay.
And then Neville, and then in his other personal belongings that were also highly trapped, you eventually found a small box with a pentagram on the outside, and popped it. Small cherubic demon or devil of some sort popped out. Limited to time only. I'm gonna grant you your deepest desires. A little bit of your soul is all that I require.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, now I don't remember what my fiance looks like, but I'm fine with that.
Some argument / conversation I've had with your mother. And
yeah, that's right.
Okay. So other things to handle. So you have a collection of paintings that sort of archive. What is it? Benedict Davenport from when he's a young man all the way until he's like this older sort of pudgy English gentleman that he is now, and that one of those phases of his life, essentially, he could be a dead ringer for Neville.
I have no idea what I got from the demon. Does anyone remember?
Let's see here. That is a very good question.
It was like something really cool and powerful.
This is your chance to think of whatever you want and say that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, Lawrence, you said it'd be fine.
No, I literally have no idea.
You could have made a devil's bargain, like I can never be hurt emotionally, and it's just like, and then never have the ability to feel.
Well, but we were getting objects from the box, and I got like the coolest object in there, but I don't remember what it did.
Well, maybe
immortality was, because I don't recall either.
Yeah, maybe see if it comes back to you as we play, because I suspect it probably will.
You can never die.
All right. Remaining items.
Oh.
Here.
No. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it.
All right. You've pretty much dumped all of Neville Nesmith's personal belongings. Yeah. All 3 of his steamer chests directly into the bag of holding, and that's what you carried off away, because you were figuring it's like we didn't want to press our luck, basically spending like 2 hours basically searching through his stuff. So you've run it all back to the safe house.
Did I do anything cool, or did I just spend the whole night getting flirted with?
You spent the whole night getting flirted with, effectively. We didn't play your character already.
Okay.
Dirk probably took a nap in an alcove somewhere.
I'd be fair to say, if she snuck away at all, probably just to deliver the thing to her dad.
Yes, we've already done the delivery to your dad. So
sweet, awesome.
He looks over the ledger. Well done, daughter.
And
can I count on you for more missions in the future, or is it a one and done sort of?
Oh, it's just, we'll see. And she just looks like slightly like traumatized because she's thinking about how little she felt during that entire event.
Oh yeah, like when that guy got turned into dust and she didn't even care.
Yeah, no, she's like, that's a little too familiar for her. She doesn't like that.
I was thinking back on it at this point. It's like, this is what the sort of shit my father did to me all the time. This is like, why am I okay with this doing this?
She is. She's totally panicking like, oh god, what if, oh god, what am I pulling back? What is going on? Because she spent so many years.
Let me. Other than that, let me read the list of other stuff. Let's say it's about a week later. Lady Emma needs to go pick up her wolf cameo. That's now the tiger that allows her to turn into a tiger.
Hell
did
yeah!
Did you already just pay everything up front, or did you just pay it down? Remember, I don't have any notes.
I feel like we paid everything.
Yeah, I think we paid everything in full
Front?
because
Paid up
he ended
front. Okay, great.
She traded it for something. So we paid everything because she traded it.
Oh yeah, you traded it for the
vampire
the pain of the
thing.
vampire lords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
Lawrence, I think you're gonna have to come up with a new cool item for me because I can't find anything and I have absolutely no memory.
Okay, I will come up with something. Let's give me.
And I
give me a bit.
also need someone to like remind me what kind of wand sword I bought. It's like an extended.
You bought the silver spike wand, which allows it to be extended out into a ring. So just a long, thin spike. Can be used as a. Also can be used as spell foot.
Okay, and didn't it have a like improved my ability spells or something?
Yes, it gives you +1 to hit with your spells and +1 to all.
Okay.
But other than that, it's also an excellent hidden weapon. So.
Right. So like if we get in a situation where we need to put down all our weapons and like go in a bathhouse or something.
You could have your wand. Still be able to cast spells. Because you normally that require computer components. Okay. Other things are Mack wanted to go to meet Huntsman using the Book of Fairy Tales that takes you into the Feywild. Let's see here. Since this is one of the places that the Book of Fairy Tales will take you, is the Huntsman's Lodge.
Oh yeah, and I got cursed. My arm fell off and then I fixed it.
Yes, so that's all well and good again. I'm saying
I have like
since it's been a week, essentially you've recovered all the lost Max.
Okay, good.
Scratch your arm off. No, it isn't.
It like withered and died, and then
Oh, that was the other thing that, by the way, the Red Painter, Elardo escaped, and but you also realize he's an astoundingly powerful magician. Like, can paint reality and suddenly make it paint things with blood and suddenly make it real, like your limb falling off, your throat being cut, that sort of thing.
Ooh, kind of like what happened in the bathhouse, because that was all the blood
was more basically some fever dream that Al had conjured up out of her subconscious.
Oh, okay.
Not from any experience or anything.
Okay, so that's the most immediate thing. You're not quite sure what to do with the painting or the Red Painter's personal belongings. You can continue to pour through them. At least 2 of the more chests are trapped, as far as you can tell. So you don't know if you really want to be opening them up in your house. Oh, our house is on fire. That's just kind of bad. That's kind of bad.
Yeah, Arthur's like, no fire.
Like Arthur's like perishes horribly, and everyone feels bad about it.
and the orphanage next door catches on fire.
On fire, exactly.
No, let's not, roast any orphans.
They're really they don't make for good food, I promise.
Okay, so it might be a good idea to either take this to professionals to get open, or alternately try to open this stuff up out in the countryside.
I vote we get professionals
out in the country. Yeah, so if you want to go hire some professionals from thieves, Yeah,
Why
we're
don't-
professional acquirers of other things.
We- I think it would be a good idea if we hired someone from the Thieves Guild.
So you go. Do we actually have any rogues in our party?
Dirk is part rogue.
All right. Dirk goes to your friendly neighborhood beggar and throws some gang signs down.
Yeah, he's got that thieves' cant thing going on.
Yes. You throw some gang signs down, and the beggar goes, "Oh yeah, it's like head to the center of the South Walk, next to the Black Cauldron. Take the first alleyway on the to the right side of the Black Cauldron, straight back. That'll be one of the entrances to the guild. There's a considering you didn't quite throw the right sign, I'm assuming you're not actually a guild member at this point. So there'll be a $100 fee for seeing the guild master or any specialists that require, and or for other purposes such as like gaining membership in the guild.
Okay.
All right, you head over to the Black Cauldron, take the right alleyway. Are you bringing your whole team or just going yourself?
Oh.
You are going into a den of thieves, so you're going, I don't know if I should go in this alone.
You and
Maybe
well,
maybe Krishana wants to come with me. Krishana, you want to come?
She'll go.
I feel like, Dirk doesn't want to just go off on his own because anything could happen, but Krishana's got that thing where she can go incorporeal and go through walls, so she could go and ask for backup if we need it. Plus, she's extremely likely to flirt with some of the thieves, and we might get a better deal.
All right, you head down the back alley. There's a particularly ugly half ogre with one eye and a hollow socket where the other one should be. It's like he's wearing a incredibly undersized tuxedo, as like the whole back is ripped out. 300 gold in the box for entry.
Okay, here you go, sir.
You drop a bag of gold there. Anyways, follow this mark as he sort of holds up like a thieves can't sign. This sort of matches up with one of those like beggars marks, hover mark symbols that you're supposed to follow. Traversing a guild labyrinth, and you traverse the guild labyrinth. You see all sorts of. You're guessing that the greater majority of the people in this guild are young because they're all early, either 10-year-olds all the way up to late teens, but you don't see any be older than that. You eventually arrive at the room that can be just described as basically delinquent central, as they're just like young kids basically shooting pool, playing cards, drinking drinks, and as a particularly young kid basically downs like a shot of whiskey, you're going, okay, this is weird. A particularly cherubic young girl with blonde girl with pigtails. It's like, coming over. What can I do you for? I'm the guild master. And didn't you sort of realize that there are fellow halflings?
Ah. Hello. We need some. So it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm from out of town. So I've not been a member of the guild, but it may be that we need to know each other better.
No, we know about you. Your detective agency, miss. Sir, I guess. What pronoun should I call you by?
It's all good. Just they is fine.
They. All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome they, and you're pretty miss as well.
Yes.
So, what can we orphans in the dam do for you?
We need some assistance opening a couple of boxes, which seem to have some traps on them, which, given where we found them, might be problematic. So we felt like we should seek professional help.
Right, well, let me take a look at it. Can plop them out here on the floor. Unless they're gonna go off by looking. In case we have a for that.
Okay. I don't think they'll go off just from looking at them because we actually have had them in the, in the bag. But if we're going to do anything else, we might want to go outside.
You plop out 3 steamer chests. She pulls out a magnifying glass, goes over them with a fine tooth comb. All right, well, she like licks her finger, basically runs her finger along the lip, sticks it in some sort of like bottle of reagent, which fizzes violently. It's like, all right, there's some very deadly poison, either gas or powder inside 2 of these. Magical trap on this one that has some sort of non-detection on it. So, pretty high grade stuff. Where can I ask where you found it?
I don't think it would help us to know where it came from.
All right, no questions asked. All right. In that case, what is it? 150 pound, 150 pounds per chest. And, I'll guarantee my results.
That seems quite
I'll handle
reasonable.
it personally. I really can't take. I really would feel bad if some of my guild members, were to catch a sudden case of death from one of these things.
If you feel that any of these are too dangerous, you do not have to accept all 3 of them.
They were too dangerous. I'm more than willing.
All right.
So long as I get paid up front.
We are happy to do that, but I don't want you to feel like you have to take this commission if you would prefer to skip any one.
No, I'm all. I'm super interested in taking.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Let's take these outside. Let's take these in. As she motions for a couple tweens to go pick up the chest, haul them towards the back. What appeared to be a solid wall suddenly pivots to the side, revealing what appears to be the inside of a safe for all intents and purposes. There's some other chests scattered about, and one of them is open, like glittering coinage can be seen spilling out of it. All right, you lot stay out here, and I'll let you know when I'm done. Insight roll.
Yes. Well, that's a nat 1.
You have a distinct feeling you're about to be had. Let's put it that way.
Okay, that's
Krishana,
a 15.
Krishana like whispers over to Dirk. At least one of us should be in there with her. Otherwise, she's just gonna steal the most valuable stuff out.
Yeah, I think. And what is the name of this guildmaster? Okay, I guess the guildmaster.
She's simply known as the guildmaster. No, so.
Okay.
That is her title and her name. So no names given here. Call me the guildmaster.
So, Krishana, do you think maybe you could go incorporeal and go in and watch?
That doesn't last that long, and she's skipping around high as fuck. You sure you want me to be the one watching her?
I think that's fair enough. So, Guildmaster, I feel like one of us should be in there so that if there was any insight on how to deal with the contents.
Well, your funeral if something goes wrong. As she goes in there, pulls out a gas mask from somewhere, and like plops it over her face. Like she hands you a bottle that with some bluish white liquid in it. That's an antidote. In case basically I set off one of these perhaps with deadly poison in it, I'd take that immediately.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a good plan. Thank you. Now, Krishana, are you going to flirt with some of the other thieves while we're inside?
Oh, she's already there. Drink in hand.
There's a small entourage of young boys that are murdered by a full-grown woman.
I bet you they have all kinds of altered substances here.
It's like there's Krishana is like disappointed that they pretty much have a limited selection of lightly hallucinogenic mushrooms. Weed. It's like it's not even good weed. It's sort of skunky weed.
Oh, such a disappointment.
but you're guessing none of them particularly have a huge amount of money because all of them look like street urchins, effectively for the most part. So you're effectively dealing with the beggars. All right, so you're in the vault with the guildmaster GM at this point. She's pull out a set of picks and some reagents, and she's sort of testing the full edge, blowing powders around the edge, and eventually clicks over the lock, bags up one of the chests, essentially what appears to be a wetted burlap sack, pops it open. There's a like a fart sound as the greenish billowing cloud of powder gets dispersed into the wet burlap sack, soaked up. She grabs the sack and tosses it aside as it smolder and disintegrate.
Nice.
All right, well, hopefully there wasn't any organic in there that couldn't survive that. So inside this particular chest looks like a lot of Elmon's spare clothing, fine nobles' robes, doublets, leggings, belt, jewelry. GM says, well, quick estimate here. It's all covered in poison, by the way. So I wouldn't touch it. Decontamination, you're gonna have to go talk to an alchemist. I don't have an alchemist site. So, but let's see here. My guess is probably about 15 to 2,000 gold worth of finery and jewelry in here. She checks the bot. She carefully handles everything with rubber gloves, sets it all off to the side, and then checks the side of the case. Eventually finds a hidden compartment. Like, all right, well, here's a key. That's yours. She hands it to you with a pair of tongs.
Mm-hmm.
It is if you want to roll D&D Beyond and have it automatically show up. Okay, she checks the next chest, like pours some sort of acid or top and erases the rune, and then picks it open. A cloud of bats fly out of it, and there's a lot of swatting as they are bitey bats as both of you get bit for 6 points of damage before you manage to stamp them out of existence. Then in the bottom is small marble, a black jet onyx sarcophagi, basically the size of a cat.
Oh.
GM checks over. It's like, okay, well, let's see here. Well, I'm guessing he has an undead pet. So, given the theme, I assume you took this from a vampire of some sort.
It's entirely likely, yes, that it came from.
She hands you the small sarcophagi. Not trapped, but I'm not opening it.
That seems fair enough.
All right, she goes to the final one, pops it open, and well, interesting. The non-detection was hiding in extra-dimensional space, so shall we go in? There's a ladder sort of heading out into the darkness as it's up of a 2x3 shaft, essentially, with a narrow ladder heading off into the darkness.
I think let's check it out, but let's leave a rope tied here in this room.
Right, she ties off a rope to a convenient D-ring, basically, that's been cemented into the ground, and starts heading down there. You eventually arrive in a sort of 5x5 room with a small cot, painter's easel with a half-finished part, nude of sort of voluptuous woman that has blondish hair and red vampire eyes, and dainty fangs. It's like you've never seen a picture of this woman before in any of the other Davenport's dwellings or secret bases so far. But then again, you didn't necessarily get to search the Davenport map. completely. So you're guessing this is a living relative or thrall of the Davenport. You don't recognize the woman at all. There's a beautiful, there's a nice paint set here.
A nice what set?
Paint set.
Paint set. Okay.
The oils seem to be recently mixed. There's some more paint base here, as well as like a large palette of pigment paints. And other than that, there appears to be a fridge that's full of bottles of red liquid. It's sort of kept perpetually chill. There are 6 bottles of red liquid. And they're way too thick to be wine, so you're guessing they're blue.
Probably. And then is this woman looking at us or asleep or?
Her eyes are sort of directly looking towards her, so they look directly.
They look directly. You're breaking up a little bit at the end of the sentences. I don't know if it's.
Yes.
like,
So
right.
yes, the woman's visage is looking directly. So.
Directly at Dirk.
No, I'm saying yeah. So directly at you.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
As you look more carefully at the painting, the painting of the woman's eyes blinks. Look back again, basically, and it appears to be normal.
Oh, okay. I don't think I.
Oh yeah,
wanna-
that was one of the other things you got from
Mhm.
like the red painter's gear was a full set of Nuzzor's wondrous pigments. It's a huge set. It's like you could like a castle amount of paint and pigments in.
Way cool. Well, I don't think we want to do anything with the painting is there anything else that looks like it needs to get explored in here?
Well, there's the cot. You could always.
Yeah. Why don't I investigate? Let me.
All right,
roll.
you check through the cot. There's
Yeah, it's a 27.
you eventually find inside the mattress itself. You end up cut. Quite sure how Ilmond would have gotten this thing out, but there's a black journal with a silver clasp. The GM says, "Hand it over and let me check it over for traps before you pop it up." She looks it over. All right, no traps. That's all yours.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for doing business with me. If you'd like to give me a tip, I do take tips. And
Okay. I think this has been really helpful. So I think we'll go ahead and come out and I'll give her another 100 and tell her that it's been a delightful experience doing business with her and that I can probably throw some more work her way as we run into more interesting situations.
well, if you need the help of any deviants and beggars, essentially we're for hire.
Sometimes we're interested in news and information, and I think that probably your group knows everything in London. Is that not true?
Everything in the south. We have a little bit of information.
Okay. Well, that may be a very good thing, and you probably know where I am, correct?
Yes, we know where your little hiding.
I thought you did. So if you have some work for us or you need some help from us, feel free to let us know.
All right, we will.
Okay.
She holds out her hand. You shakes your hand heartily.
Mhm.
In the halfling tradition, as you basically shake hands for some weird, uncomfortable duration of time. It's like,
Like our faces twitch like in a synchronized way, right? Like we squint one eye and then the
smile, this
other.
unhealthy, weird smile. This must be some halfling thing. Is what Krishana is thinking.
Definitely. So I'm going to put all the stuff back in because the traps and the poison's all done with the chest. So I can put the stuff back in the chest, put the chest back in the
So she reloads the chest with all the stuff with poison all over it.
Mhm.
Okay, so you got a sarcophagi about the size of a cat made of jet onyx. And what you're guessing is a safe room.
So while you guys were down there, Krishana's just chatting up the guys. She's using her crown of fascination to try and get information about the Davenport's network or Nesmith's network.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
The kids basically take little convincing You don't really even need to use the crown, as they spill the beans on anything you want to ask about. The Nesmith, they don't know much about, but he's a North Londoner, so never traveled southward. But his son Nathan can often at Lady K, and you know this because supposedly he's going to arrange a meeting with you some weekend, something along those lines. Oh, it is a weekend, so you're trying to figure out. Oh, I probably should be looking out for a message from Nathan Nesmith. Okay, and then let's see here. You're not. Oh, this was the other thing. Essentially, healer as a cleric or even Dirk. Is it particularly safe to put an extra dimensional space in another extra dimensional space?
Is that like dividing by 0?
It is.
Well,
that is the D&D divide by 0, right? You start a race reality.
Well, it was already in there, so it must have some sort of an exception, or it would have already blown up.
Must be totally safe. All right.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Oh, speaking of which, roll me a d20. So I'm assuming you ended up wearing the bag.
I ended up wearing the bag of.
Holding into the safe room. So.
Oh, okay. So let's see. That's a 4.
All right. You head back out. You check the bag. Try to chuck stuff back into the bag of work. Regular bag at the moment.
Okay.
As Dirk is going back in her mind, is going, yeah, putting extra dimensional spaces in other extra dimensional spaces causes weird stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
I hope our bag is broken at this point.
Yeah, we can take a look at that. In the meantime, I think I'll hire some of these people to help me carry the chest back, right?
Yeah, you hire something. Okay, so you hand out about 20 gold to random.
Well, Zumlar would be right outside the door because he doesn't want to come into the.
I don't think we brought the whole party with us, because you guys would have had a crazy time off in the Thieves' Land, and you guys look too fancy and too shiny and not thievy enough.
Too righteous.
Yeah, exactly.
Too righteous.
You're a paladin. Paladins wouldn't go off. Paladins would make the thieves folks nervous, and they wouldn't have done such good business with us. But that's okay. It'll only be 20 gold, and we'll have some halfling folks carry the chest back for us.
That's what I'm saying. I would have stayed outside.
Right, you would have probably stayed at the cauldron, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll meet up with you guys at the Leaky Cauldron.
Yeah.
All right. You meet back at the Black Cauldron, which was at the very entrance of the alleyway.
Right.
The ogre bouncer sort of gives you a nod as you head out.
I think I give him a tip too.
All right. Oh, thank you much. I don't know what this is for, but I appreciate it. Beer money's always important.
Ow.
Bless you.
Godzilla.
I just punched myself in the nose.
Oh,
That's not fun.
stop hitting yourself.
We haven't even. Roll initiative, Ryan. I don't...
Against yourself. You
Oh,
take
God,
2
that
points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
All right.
Still doesn't sound good.
This time it's post nasal drip cough.
Cold and flu season.
All right, give me a second.
allergies.
Let's see. I still need to figure out Lady Emma's made a deal for.
I don't know.
Let me just roll on a random chart here. I could probably find something.
Yeah, I have seasonal allergies, and it's really starting to bug me.
Oh, God.
I feel it in my bones.
Yeah, I'm allergic to the black mold that grows on the leaves when they come down off the tree, but it hasn't gotten cold enough yet. But it's getting down to 28 tonight. It's gonna kill it all.
That's
Hell
great.
Good.
The coldest here is going to get what's the low supposed to be today? About
It's going to get Florida
45.
cold this weekend, so I'm excited.
It's going to get down to 23 later. I forget which day, but
Oh,
Wow.
it's actually supposed to get to 39 degrees tonight.
oh wow.
That's a bit. It's a bit too cold for me.
It's supposed to get to 26 tonight.
I'm just so grateful that I'm in a place that has heat that works because I was so freaking cold at that old house. It was
Move to Arizona. You won't be cold that
oh,
much.
that's okay. I'd rather be cold. I'd rather be cold than hot, but I was honestly so cold that I just like I couldn't sleep sometimes because it was just cold. Because the house was built in 1890, and there were just
Oh,
pneumonia
wow.
holes everywhere, and you just couldn't put enough heat into the house.
No.
Yeah, I had a house that was built in like the early 1800s when I lived in New York.
Hmm.
My grandmother's house, actually. So
Oh, cool.
when we moved here about 17 years ago, my grandmother's house actually missed the historic mark by half a year.
Oh, wow.
So she sold the house to a contractor, and he knocked it down and built like 4 giant houses on it on the
Oh,
property.
Damn.
Oh.
I hate that.
I think it was built in like the late 1700s.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was like
so
a
there's a
big
random
plantation.
magic item for you, Lady Emma. So you have a veil or that steals people's breath.
Oh, damn.
I thought I got some sort of like brooch or something that.
That was
Well-
the tiger, maybe.
Well, you have a brooch ready at the
Oh, that's right.
Wizards Guild right now, at the Wizards College that you had re-enchanted. So,
Okay. I thought it. Yeah, I thought it was
do
like.
you want to go pick that up at this point?
Yeah, we should go pick that up.
I think so. but
Oh,
it's
good. So
distracting.
if we
All
ever
right,
want
so
to kill everyone around us,
spend 5 gold for a cab north end of town.
Do you think maybe they could take all of that poison off the stuff too?
Well, there is an alchemist just down the street if you want to talk to them.
Okay, so maybe we pick up her stuff and then we try and get the poison taken off. Then we can sell
Yeah,
that
you're
$2,000 worth of stuff.
So you need a gallon of antidote, huh? What exactly you need a gallon of antidote for? There's this crazy old coot, the alchemist at the end of the road. Like he has one big eye, one small eye.
Some things were regretfully contaminated, and I'd like to decontaminate them.
Oh well, I have something might be more useful for that. This powder can neutralize gaseous and basic powdered poisons. You might need to scrub it with a little bit of soap and water to. It's really on there good, but if you got something contaminated, this will do the trick. So, how much stuff do you need to get decontaminated?
It all fits in a trunk, like a steamer trunk.
Everything in there, everything in the steamer trunk. All right. Anything delicate? Silks?
Yeah, there's some delicate things.
All right. So he mixes you up some of this stuff, some sort of bluish other solvent or potion. Hands you a quart jar of this stuff. All right, mix this with water, about 10 to 1. Anyways, this bottle probably do you. I'll need 500 gold for that.
That seems like a big help.
All right.
I like to be safe and not poisoned.
All right. Well, if you need to wash poison off of anything, it's a solution. So if you have any left over, here you go.
You've been very.
Come back if you need any other alchemical addition to your equipment.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, and I'll be sure to keep you in mind. And what is the name of the shop, or who is this guy?
Opie.
Opie. Okay, thank you, Mr. Opie. Opie the alchemist.
right. His shop simply reads alchemist on the outside, and there's this sort of broken potion bottle, which doesn't inspire confidence, but that's the symbol of his. All right. So we head off to Regis College as you head off to Cornell. There's the central quad. You pass by the Necromancer's Guild with their lurch sort of like sort of standing there staring at you with his dull cataract eyes. Sort of waves very slowly at you. It's like you don't need anything from the Necromancer's Guild, so you just wave back and keep on going. You eventually arrive at the Enchanter's Guild. You see some poor unfortunate there's an explosion on the 3rd floor, and some poor unfortunate flying out in a black robe on fire. Land in the courtyard. They don't seem to be moving at the moment. You just sort of step around them at this point, or do you help them out?
I think we need to stop and help, don't we, guys?
Yeah, Owl's gonna help pick him up, but then she's also gonna knock on his head. Just hello.
There's a hollow thunking sound from his head as like he has like a reverse mohawk where all the hair has just been burnt off the top of his head and stripe. It's like he has sort of like mousy brown hair and like timid sort of mouse-like features. And his robe is ill-fitting and is like stained with all sorts of chemicals. It's like he must be a budding alchemist of some sort. Oh, you're the one we're working on the brooch for. It's not been going well.
Clearly. I like your cut, G. He just taps.
So Cat pats his head. It's like, oh man, that's the second time I have to go get that grown back. Does anybody actually heal him up? Because when he stands up, you notice one of his feet is facing literally the wrong direction.
I will.
Oh.
You spin his foot around. He hardly notices, and you just like heal it back into place. It's like, oh yeah, it's like that happens all the time. All the healer says all the ligaments are in my left. Both knees are blown out at this point from getting but so I can't even feel when my legs get spun around like that. But thank you for the healing.
Can I heal his ligaments?
No, it's like the
it's gone.
I went to the Grand Cathedral. They said it was going to be 1,000 gold for a full regeneration. So saving up. Taking a while on an apprentice salary, though.
Oh.
Like, what would it require, like, for the full regen?
So he has to have the regenerate.
Oh.
Poor little
Which
guy.
is a pretty high cleric spell.
So that's like an 8th or 9th gold.
That's the one we used on yours when you kept freezing your hand off or your arm off. Remember?
All right, well, let me take you upstairs. The High Enchantress, I think, had a breakthrough, like, last something. Finally able to get it done. So you arrive in the lab. You meander up a set of stairs all the way up to the 3rd level. You don't remember the Enchantress lab being on the 3rd level. It was 2nd floor last time, but whatever. You arrive.
Is that Tim?
Say again?
The Enchanter?
Yes, this is Tim the Enchanter.
Oh, I remember Tim the Enchanter.
He asked what color our eyes were, right? No, he asked what color our favorite color was, right?
Exactly. I will ask you these questions 3. No, okay. You arrive at the in the top floor lab. About a quarter of the lab is definitely still on fire, but it's like no fire you have ever seen before. It's like there are all sorts of different colors of the rainbow represented in different like patches of flame all over the place. As there's about a dozen apprentices with basically magical fire extinguishers and wands trying to put out fires out inside of Tim is sitting there with his horned helm and gnarled staff, stroking his wizened beard. It's like, oh yes, miss, I have your item. He holds up the red ribbon choker and shows you the side with the face of a human on it and hands it to you. You look at the back. The face is like there's this crudely carved face of a tiger that looks like a 10-year-old drew it. It's like, don't mind that. It's like results are all that matters. Go ahead and put it on. Is this Lady Emma's item or whose item is this?
I think it's definitely Lady Emma.
Does Lady Emma actually put it on?
Yes.
All right. You go ahead and put it on your neck, tiger side out. Your head turns into that of a tiger, and that's the only thing that transforms. See, it works. As you're sort of your head.
Half-assed it.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be useful, but maybe not as useful as a full tiger.
Owl just starts scratching Lady Emma's head.
I'm only half tiger. That's not very helpful.
You try to say something, all that it comes out is your dewlap pull all the way back, showing a lot of
Displeased.
I'm wondering if she licks Tim the enchanter.
Tigers have a lot of bite strength, and the claws are cool.
What? You haven't quite mastered yet. Just keep on thinking about being a tiger. You'll eventually turn in. Does Lady Emma follow the Wizard Tim's advice?
Yes.
All right. Now her lower half is a tiger and the top half is a woman.
Oh no.
He's a reverse mermaid cat.
And then it turns to bilaterally half of you as a tiger and the other half is a woman. It's like this is, and then you just have tiger paws. Damn it!
She's got tiger blood.
It's like Tim's house.
Like Charlie Sheen.
She's got the eye of the tiger.
The Wizard Tim basically taps out his flag.
She's got the eye of the tiger and the thrill of the fight.
She's like, temporary issues. You'll figure this out eventually.
You're doing great, Lady Emma.
This is a nightmare.
You flip it around to the other side because you know there's that's supposed to be the side where you're back to. And it's
I try to concentrate really, really hard and then turn into a tiger.
All right, roll me a d20 and add your wisdom.
I got a 20.
Woohoo!
Okay, poof! You turn into this huge tiger that's like 10 feet tall at the shoulder, like bowls over your whole team, knocks over some alchemical equipment. This billowy purple gas starts spreading around the room as Tim immediately cracks his staff on the ground and bubble blue force surrounds him as he's scratching in. Well, as he basically makes noises. I need everybody else to basically make con save noises.
Con save noises! Con save noises!
Not in the spoon. Okay, that's an 11.
That's the 12.
Do we need to make a 10?
I got a 14.
All right, you need 15 or better. So.
Oh.
Big up to the challenge with my rivals.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that again.
Okay.
Luck. And that's a 19, so I passed.
All right.
Man, it's not linking my thingy. I rolled a 15, but it only shows it in D&D Beyond.
Okay, no, that's fine. So you make your save. All right.
Okay.
So all of you are definitely different shades of purple at this point. That's if you save to make the save or not. Those of you who do not make your save basically get turned into small purple.
Purple what?
Purple kitten.
Yes!
So
Okay.
now we have to watch out for flying purple people eaters. Great.
So did anyone fail the save?
I am
did.
now a purple cat.
Okay.
I am here for it.
So me and Owl, both the paladins, turn
I
as
am
cats.
purple warforged. That's not going to help me blend in at all.
Okay, how did Lady Emma do? Oh, you got a 15, so you're fine. Okay. Or was that healer that got a 15?
I got a 15.
Okay, so you got the 15, and Lady Emma, what was yours? I think.
That's a great question.
And Krishana got a 15.
Shauna's fine, just purple.
I got a
Okay, so you are still this giant tiger, except purple. All right, the enchanter Tim basically wraps staff on the and incants some magic words and says, at the end it says, "Be gone!" You all poof out of existence and appear in the English countryside, like 10 feet off the ground, and then land a unceremonious heap on top of it.
Do the cats land on their feet?
Yes, of course the cats land
Yeah.
on top of
So
them.
do we have to make it
Unfortunately,
like
that is quickly followed basically by Lady Emma, the 2-ton tiger. It's like wham as she lands on top of you all for 8.
Do I roll out of the way? Made a dexterity save of 17.
You take 4 points of damage instead. She doesn't manage to land on you squarely as you roll out of the way. All right. There's a like lab bench with you. There's a basically startled apprentice with a wand that's like half purple at the moment.
Owl's gonna steal his wand with her and just hold it in her mouth.
Al leaps up and grabs the apprentice's wand while he's just sort of standing. He's sort of standing there, slack-jawed. It's like, okay, so there's you knocked over some alchemical equipment. There's some about this period of time, this floating illusionary head of the enchanter Tim appears. It's like, all right, well, you messed up my lab, and so I will. I'm not going to charge you for that, but I did have to send you away before basically the polyjuice gas basically got to the rest of my apprentice. Come back to anyway. Any of you that were transformed into anything else should wear off in about an hour.
Zumlar has the I'm not
and he mentions under his breath, may cause permanent staining. So Dirk's gonna say, before that happened, I was gonna, because this was the necromancers, right?
No, this is the enchanters.
Oh, the enchanters. So that wouldn't be the one to talk to about the sarcophagus, right?
Sarcophagus, yeah, you definitely
probably need to go to the necromancers for that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Probably need to go to the necromancer. Lady Emma, let's see here. Spend 250 gold so you have the teleport spell. Add it to your spell list because that's a really common spell for level to have.
Okay. I might. Maybe I have it. I don't know.
Oh, I think. Yeah, let me look up what. I'm pretty sure teleportation circles.
I think we had the scroll, so maybe if she had a chance to copy it into her spell book.
Well, I don't recall dropping for anybody. I think you used it once already.
I
So
don't think we used it.
I don't think we used it either.
In that case, just still spend the 250 either way, because you still need the components for the spell.
Okay.
Okay, so you have teleportation, the 5th level spell that can get you back. However, Lady Emma is finding it's like, maybe symbols would pause socks. It's like, as you try drawing a rune in the air and just get this giant paw print.
Oh,
you gotta just draw it in paw prints, just like paw print line.
should I roll an Arcana to see if
You should roll an Arcana to see if you cast giant.
Oh, I got a 30.
Holy smokes!
Lady Emma also immediately divines that, just like, As she tries to change out of her tiger form, just to make sure she can, just like, I'm stuck like this, aren't I?
No.
Wow. A meme of the lady, and all of a sudden you see all this math.
You see all this basically alchemical symbols and math symbols like rising out of her head. So it's like,
Yes,
oh, no, it's
exactly.
Like, oh, this like, oh no, oh, enchantment basically is permanent, isn't it? I better figure out how to get this item off.
And she can't talk to us while she's a tiger, right?
No, but she is making various meow, meow, growl, yowl noises. Someone wants to ask. If someone can speak with animals, we could probably speak with her.
Yeah. Does anybody besides? I think Zumlar has that, but does anybody else have it because he's a cat right now?
Oh no.
Oh,
I
okay.
may have it.
What if Dirk? Because we can all turn into cats whenever we want. So what if Dirk turns into a cat? Can he talk to Lady Emma then?
Yes.
Okay, so Dirk turns into a cat and says, "Lady Emma, what's wrong?"
I don't seem to be able to turn back into a person.
Oh. Do you want me to try and take the choker off and see if it will revert you back?
That could help, yes.
Okay. So Dirk will turn back into a person and then he'll go ahead and take off the choker.
Yes, actually, healer, you can. So one of the adventures earlier was that the whole group had made a deal with the Jellicle host, essentially, as for being good sports during their was it
Election?
election of the next Jellicle host leader.
So am I a actual
Yes,
cat?
you can be a Robo Kitty if you want to.
I can be Robo Kitty. Oh
Aww.
God, that would be adorable.
Guys,
That would be adorable.
this is off topic, but I adopted 2 kittens.
Aww,
I'll send a
little
picture.
meow meows. Yes, send picture.
So Lady Emma figures out, okay, well, figured out how to cast the spell. She makes basically this giant magic circle made of like claw scratches and paw prints. Hops in the center and sort of starts motioning everybody to get into the circle.
Healer takes her place in the circle.
Dirk goes too.
Owl's gonna like start trying to bap at things, just like the different symbols and stuff.
Lady
At
Emma.
At that point, Lady Emma basically just places her paw over the whole top of you. It's just like you just sort of disappear under the giant tiger paw and scrapes you back into
Long owl. Let's go.
Right. Because
I'm going to grab
It
Owl
took
by
a
the
whole
scruff of
freaking 30 minutes to draw this painstakingly out. All right, there's this chorus of the meow mix meows as,
Yeah.
as you all
Meow, meow.
as you all sort of drop into the basically portal as if the bottom fell out of Earth, and you reappear inside of a German beer hall with one startled janitor. So you knew there was a magic circle. You already taken the address earlier in the Davenport's basically ghetto that they had taken over earlier. Looks like this magic circle has been repaired, so you're going, well, I'm glad it's working again, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't be glad. But the other 2 options were Buckingham Palace or St. Mary's Church, Mary's Cathedral, or the Wizards College, and you didn't know the address of the Wizards College, or Buckingham Palace. So this was the one you knew. So this is what you went.
Vince, do I get any like strength bonuses or anything like that when I'm a tiger?
Yes, you are extremely strong and have a good constitution. So your strength goes up to, well, in your current form is your 18, and otherwise your stats are yours.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, so you see one sort of janitor that's really started to look at you, going. And then he drops his broom and runs out of there. So he runs screaming out the front door, yelling, giant cat, ah, there's a tiger loose.
So as we look around, does it look like they've repaired all the damage? Because as I recall, we caught this on fire and then also did a tidal wave in it. So we blew out the top floor and everything fell into the basement.
Basically destroyed the magic circle last.
We destroyed the whole building. It was in smoking ruins. Yeah.
That's correct.
So they've built it back.
You look outside and you're looking. This is where this isn't the same circle I thought it was, essentially. As you look outside and you can see a whole bunch of robed figures with Order of Hermes red eye on it. They're all wearing these robes in red with gold embroidered all-seeing eyes on the back. As you see like dozens of cult members sort of looking back at you, going. There's just basically a lot of concerned frowns in your general direction as you see a lot of like wavy daggers being drawn out from belts, wands being drawn out by the other hand, as like there's at least a dozen cultists like standing outside in a courtyard, and you're going, well, we're not in Kansas anymore, and I have no idea where we are. But you're in a beer hall that looks remarkably like the one that you had burned down. Which
the one
has the same address.
So the one that we burned down had a basement with like a connection into the lamplighters tunnels, right?
Yes.
So maybe we should go out the back way, guys, before these folks get all stirred up.
Well, they're stirred up. They're stalking towards the front of the building. Do you check for a trapdoor?
Yeah.
There doesn't appear to be any obvious like stairwell down from here. Not that the 10-foot tiger could fit such a stairwell anyways.
Do we still have those robes from that one place?
I don't know what ropes are you talking about?
We had robes from the Order of Hermes, but right now the bag of holding is not working properly, so I don't have everything with us that we normally do. We do have.
Okay, so but the floor sounds hollow beneath you. Do you want to? Does Giant Tiger simply want to smash through the floor? What's below?
Hulk smash.
Yeah, let's try that. And then as a backup, we all have those masks that we can look like something. We could look like cultists if we wanted to. So,
ability.
Let's try and get out first. But if that doesn't go well, let's turn into cultists.
In practical terms, those of you who are cats at the moment are realizing, like, I can't pull out gear at the.
Right. And they're purple cats too, right?
Gear from, in fact, as you sort of rifle your fur. Nope. You lick yourself up. Nope. Double nope.
Okay. Well, we need to buy an hour. So yeah, let's see if we can smash through the floor. Lady Emma, can you find a hollow spot here?
Yeah.
All right, you smash through the floor. The big 10-foot circle floor basically breaks away and falls down. I need dex saves from everybody, as it's a little further than you were expecting. 30 feet down.
Oh dear. Okay. So Lawrence, I'm trying to figure out the tiger brooch thing. I currently have a strength of +4 already.
So it becomes +5.
Okay, gotcha.
And what was their save?
Why is Lady Emma so strong for a wizard?
Listen, she has a lot.
She lifts. I lift, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
She eats on day.
All the time she spars
never skips legs day. Basically, goes to the gym 5 days a week.
She spars with the Zumlar every day.
More like 6 days a week.
I just assume that it's part of her background as a celestial and like her curse to be 16 forever.
16 and done. Okay.
16.
gonna
Also
go
just
for doubles up protein
Hey,
every
for
day.
everybody else, bench press 250, so it evens out.
All right, so yes, all of you about throw 30 feet down into a pit. So I need a dex save for everybody.
And what was the
Full
DC on that?
DC 15. Full damage.
I got 15.
Okay.
Okay, full damage is 12. Half damage.
Okay.
So what is half damage? What is the damage?
Six.
Six?
The full
Okay,
damage
so
is 12.
okay, half of that would be 3. All
Okay,
right.
no, well, no, I'm saying the full damage is 12. Half damage.
Half damage is 6.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. You go crashing into what is a rather large open room that looks like a cult altar if you've ever seen one before, with a giant entwined snake column on one side, 4 other columns essentially that sort of look like they're decorated with 4 elements: earth, air, wind, fire. I'm sorry. Earth, air, water, and fire. Sorry. So set at 4 cardinal points, and then on the back side of the fire pillar, a little further away, is twine column. This looks exactly like a duplicate of the summoning room inside the first cult lair you ever raided.
Which, as I recall, we used that flanged key on it, and it was a portal to hell, and we
Yes.
didn't like it at
You
all.
don't have the, unlike the other court cult lair, isn't this omnipresent basically feeling of foreboding, as if basically there's a gateway, invisible gateway to hell in this room. So it's probably not open.
Right, but I think we need to be careful.
Okay.
Does it look like there's any other exits?
Let me see. There's a large set of stone double doors behind the twined serpent pillar.
Ooh.
As you pass by the serpent pillar, like at eye level, at least human eye level, there's a key slot that looks strikingly familiar. And then directly opposite that, on the other wall, behind the water pit.
Hey, donor.
So those appear to be the only obvious entrances and exits, and then the roof of this place, sort of this partially sort of dome-shaped bit of trellis you sort of busted the center out. All right, you put on the mask.
Yeah, I'm going to make myself a cultist just in case we get discovered.
Yeah, I think everybody who's not a cat should probably go ahead and do that. Just as a safeguard.
Okay, Lady Emma
And if
basically puts
anyone-
her paws in front of her face and tries to peekaboo. It's like there's no permanence. And as you can hear, banging on the large set of double doors directly behind the serpent.
Can you guys hear me?
Brothers and sisters, we must purge the inner sanctum of infidels.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was just asking you guys. I meant somewhere. Krishana was asking if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
If anyone asks, Lady Emma is our new mascot.
So maybe we open the doors and tell them that the infidels just escaped through the ceiling.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see here. Even in your disguised forms, you're all still purple.
Okay.
Not that this is a bad thing, because the Davenport's always more.
Look what the infidels did to me!
Yes,
They
we
always tend to be Davenports.
right. We were fighting and they turned us purple and went out through the ceiling.
Okay.
They
The
blew
door
a
is
hole
bust open, and there's a whole bunch of mass cultists of the Order of Hermes with knives and wands drawn. You can see like riding boots and high heels, noble slippers, like sticking out from underneath robes, sort of noble Londonites, probably from the north end of London. Someone needs to give me a performance or persuasion. Sell the deal. So who's going to do this? One
I
person.
can't. I'm a
Who
cat.
has the highest charisma?
I have a +5 persuasion
I only
and a
have
+7 in deception. Does anybody beat a +7?
No.
Okay. So
I doubt it.
I'm gonna roll deception, and then if it's really bad, I'm gonna luck it. Okay, so that's a 22.
All right.
He's a good boy.
Nice.
He's a good boy.
It's like
Sorry, Donor.
they all chant as one, basically. We worship the morning and the dawn, and as if they expect you to basically give some call sign.
exactly. No, that's exactly the cat's just meow in response.
Holy crap. How do you get
Dawn.
+13 persuasion?
Huh?
I didn't think it was possible to get a +13 to persuasion.
Well,
Unless
you
you're-
have to use charisma and have expertise, pretty much.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Growl at them.
All right.
So can we roll like Arcana to figure this out?
You as cult members, but they're asking for. They're basically doing the old Capify chant at this point, and they're expecting you to call back.
Right. So would Arcana or History or something
Arcana's
tell
gonna
us?
try.
Arcana or history, whichever is
Okay.
better.
Krishana, is that you?
What am I rolling?
Are you good at Arcana or History?
Oh, I got good Arcana in history.
Okay. Why don't we try that and see if we can figure out what we're supposed to say?
Emma can't respond to this. She's not human.
Oh, that's true. I'm not human. Well.
Arcana, Lady Krishana remembers. Oh,
You can scratch it on.
and Krishana remembers this is part of like an older poem. Essentially, we ride into the radiant dawn, and shed the blood of our enemies. They seem to be satisfied with that as they're all nodding. It's like, brothers and sisters, essentially. What has happened here?
They blew ceiling.
There were
Do you have any idea how much it's going to cost to get the Carpenters Guild here?
Sure, your large pet didn't cause that damage. Looks like you fell through the ceiling. You're all standing on this round circular piece of wood that fell out of the ceiling.
We were cast down by the infidels. They turned us purple and then pushed us down through the circle. They're up there.
Yes, indeed. Basically, repairing the summoning circle is going to be quite expensive. But nothing we the Order of Hermes. That is a mere pittance. So come, we will come. We'll get you cleaned up. Were some of you enchanted and turned into cats?
Owl's just gonna roll on one of their shoes, just like, no, normal cat, sort of thing.
Maybe purple stains all over their boots. And it's like,
but she gives such big eyes, you know. Can't
Like
be mad
Puss
at
in Boots
that.
big eyes.
all right, roll me a persuasion check, essentially, to look cute.
Okay. I rolled a nat 1, so it's
This
5.
particularly displeased woman looks like, how dare you basically soil my Manolo bikes? How dare you soil?
She's just a cat, and
You
so
and stains her glove with her as is about to like stab the owl through the chest. Does anybody
Can I
stop her?
stretch forward and grab Owl.
Lady Emma's gonna put her paw on Owl before and like bring her back before that happens.
All right, roll me an initiative check to see if you can scoop Owl away before the angry lady tries to murderize Owl.
Can I also do like athletics?
Oh no! Owl, I'm sorry, I got an 8.
Can I do an athletics to dodge?
I'm gonna try and
Perfectly fine.
I could just grabbed her. I have +5 to
Angry
it.
lady is chasing around Owl at this point, trying to grab Owl for staining her her very expensive shoes purple.
I rolled a 14 for athletics.
You're noticing all the people that, including Lady Emma, that are leaving this sort of trail of purple wherever you go. Yes, you can try to grab Owl. I guess. Owl, do you want to be picked up by Healer at this?
Healer hasn't done much, so yes.
Okay.
Owl's
Healer
not-
basically
as
sort
I
of picks her up. It's like, no, what are you doing?
Do you have any idea how expensive this cat was? She's a
Owl-
purebred. She has papers and a champion bloodline.
You're alley cat.
Come here, no. Come here, investment. Come here, investment. Who's a good girl? Who's got a pedigree? You do.
Owl's
Yes.
just like rubbing against her leg, getting her leg purple.
At this point, since Healer's already all purple, it just doesn't show. But it's just,
Yes.
otherwise,
Doesn't
you would be
matter.
staining all their clothing purple.
It's just like a deeper shade of purple.
Does anyone have and I just say to the cultists, does anyone have prestidigitation to be solved
They
in
all answer back in unison, all like 20 of them. Yes, of course.
Well, use prestidigitation on us. This should not even be any.
They all cast prestidigitation at once. It's like as there's this dazzling white spray of magic all over you. And all the people that were purple and had made their saves before are now like normal colored. With minty fresh breath and like combed back hair and your clothing is pressed. And those people who are cats are still purple but no longer staining things all over the place.
A little investment. Mommy will give you a nice BATH when we get home. Don't.
And that's when Owl
All
just
right, well, bring your pets with you at this point. Like, we were to have one of our senior members was going to come by today and give us a little talk about Fair Carcosia. So you should come along.
Oh.
It is our monthly meeting, after all. You can hear probably what is one of their leaders basically clap his hands sometimes, like, and all sorts of like mishappen like shades basically cells out of people's shadows cast from various magical orbs of light all over the place. Their shadows literally detach from themselves, begin cleaning up the mess in the center of the room.
Wow.
I'm going to set Owl on my shoulder.
Can Owl crawl in from Healer's shoulder, like just crawling into Healer?
In practical terms, no. A healer is not hollow on the inside.
Okay.
Not all of me, anyway. Not my shoulder.
That way, it's like you have like small compartments, but not enough to fit a live animal. Not without a lot of mangling. Not without...
So I'm just Owl will just be on my shoulder, like a pirate would put a parrot or something, and I'll just be sure not to bounce.
Not to say Owl doesn't try, as she manages to like get a whole arm all the way basically into your shoulder gear joint, and you hear this like horrible grinding noise as Owl yowls in pain.
No, kitty, that's a bad kitty.
So Owl takes 6 points of damage for basically managing to mangle a paw inside Healer's shoulder.
Really? Does anyone know of a good obedience trainer for cats?
Meow. Owl just gives airplane ears and like that distress, like "Meow," like that, like deeper meow.
I'm going
Maybe
to
Emma is
her under the
not
chin
know
and
what to
say,
do.
"It's okay. Mommy's not really mad at investment." And just give her chin.
And I
Owl
think
could like.
Dirk is going to go pick up Zumlar cat
Okay.
and tell him that he's a much better behaved cat than that other one.
Owl's gonna stick her tongue out at Dirk. Or no. She's gonna like whip her tail at him.
Lady, the cultists are. Bring your interesting purple tiger here. I'm sure we could use it for a sacrifice or something. Lady Emma's like, oh.
No.
Can I growl?
Have any idea how much this tiger
This
costs?
seems to please the person who said that comment. As they sort of smile,
This
a mischievous
tiger
smile.
This tiger costs 15,000 gold. We're not going to sacrifice it.
Well, then keep your pet supervised, and then it won't be a problem now, will it, dearie?
No, of course. Come
All
on.
right, so they're all exiting stage left, heading back out through the double doors. They came. Sort of, some of them are waving you to come along. It's like, come, we must make our meeting essentially with the High Triumvirate member.
I don't think we can stay here. Let's go ahead and follow them and see if there's an opportunity to dodge.
Okay, you
Yep.
follow along. They sort of, you fall and step in the back, and like a couple people in the back sort of like surround you and make sure there's some people behind you and some people in front of you. And eventually they lead you through what appears to be a model village of like a small German town, except it's obviously underground. You can feel the heavy weight of stone above you. Where some magical light reaches high enough, you can see the arc of stone cavern above you. You're not quite sure what the frick this place is for. It's just weird that they would have built a small German village inside a cave. There's a large town hall at the other end that probably twice as big as the beer hall you just appeared in. The inside the store is the floor is made of parquet stone that has this sort of swirling kaleidoscopic pattern of red, white, and black inlaid into the floor that disturbingly looks like the mouth of like some tremendous beast, rows and rows and rows of teeth circling around like a whirlpool. Those of you who have seen the sigil of Azathoth before, which is all of you, by the way, will recognize the sigil of Azathoth, one of the great old ones. At the far end of the room, there's this beautiful crystalline statue, human-sized crystalline statue of the Yellow King made of this translucent yellow gold crystal at the that has his arms outstretched in welcome. And standing in front of the statue is a man dressed in a yellow gold robe, with his face sort of cast down in shadow, wearing mask that sort of appears to be a mass of tentacles, essentially like a stylized mass of tentacles protruding out.
Yeah.
From underneath his hood. This person has sort of stunning blue eyes that sort of glow with the dull blue glow of undeath. You're going, that guy's not a human. As he gazes out over the crowd. Brothers and sisters of the Order of Hermes, tonight we celebrate as we have found our way to Grand Carcosia. We soon will be with our master, the Yellow King, as he will grant us life immortal for our ever steady service in his cause here in London. We have summoned his servants. And each of you served us, the Triumvirate, in good stead past year. there have been setbacks, of course. Losing that base, losing our first summoning base was setback. But as we all gather here today on Yule Eve, that we can celebrate in good cheer that we have overcome these obstacles and recreated essentially both the summoning room and another backup base beyond this. With that, essentially, I give you Sir Reginald Harcourt. They are explorer extraordinaire that has recently been to Grand Carcosia and will tell you about this sort of middle-aged man with a like oiled goatee and curled mustachio and sort of reddish brown hair steps up, tinged with gray. He's a dashing figure of a sort of British gentleman in a red and gold military uniform. And he goes on to tell about his travel into the frozen depths of Antarctica, and day after day, man after man was lost to the cold or wolves or bears, until when following the good book, as he holds up this yellow, this like ratty journal made of like yellowed leather, till we following the good book of our Lord the Yellow King, I was finally able to find the hidden city of its grand wonders, especially this being one of them, as he points to the golden crystal statues, and will be the grand wonders were revealed to my men, and these and its magics, which I will now share with you. Basically, as he brings out like a metal mallet, tings the statue, which begins to resonate with a steady and ominous ringing sound that becomes louder and louder and louder and louder as people begin to like hold their ears, and then like some woman screams as her eyes like burst out of her head as as she basically grabs either side of her skull and cracks her skull open, revealing this sort of spidery, skittery monster made of yellow tendrils that sort of spew out, like as several cultists like leap back aghast. Okay, as all of you are going, okay, all hell is about to break loose in here, quite literally. Okay, with that, essentially, we'll start with Healer. What are you doing?
You're starting
there's maybe about 50 cultists in here, but they're all deeply focused on the eldritch horror that basically just ripped itself out of this woman's head.
I think it's our time to try to sneak out of here.
Looking for an exit quickly
Yep.
and quietly.
Okay, so you saw some cultists like scoot in from side passageways behind two red curtains to the right and left of the auditorium, and then there's the big double doors directly behind. Running towards the stage, towards the yellow crystal statue, and Mr. Harcourt doesn't seem like a particularly great plan, but you've had worse plans in the past, and they have worked out for you. There might be a way out behind it.
I'm gonna do I did a perception checks. Do I find an exit?
I'm saying, well, the obvious ones I've given to you. And what was your perception?
22.
22. Okay. You decide to look up in the ceiling, and yes, among the rafters there's skylight, as well as it looks like there like about 5 or 6 chandeliers that are tied off against side walls, so you could probably zoom yourself all the way up to the top immediately if you cut one of those, rode the rope up to the ceiling.
Dun, 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 dun. I relay this information to the group and say, do we want to try that?
I've always wanted to be Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Owl's gonna meow like very clearly and just like bouncing towards the ceiling.
Yeah, they seem like they're kind of busy right now. This might be a good time if we're gonna, do something that crazy.
Lady Emma is not sure about this because she's very, very big.
Lady Emma can probably leap up to the rafters by herself, essentially by doing a wall leap.
True. That's true. Will the rafters break under her weight? Is my question.
Well, if this
Emma
is
has no
supposed to be
idea. This is one of those.
probably nice.
Look around and find out, sort of deal.
Fuck around and find out.
Hey, we're just straight to the one their summoning areas again.
I'll be
Is
back
everybody
in just a
basically
minute.
gonna head up to the rafters at this point and try to get out to the skylight?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so healer, I need a. You and Krishana are paired up at the moment, essentially. So you're gonna both try to go up at once. I need the both
I
of
thought I was
you.
paired up with the owl.
You're okay. You're paired up with Owl. Okay, great.
Yes.
So Owl can't actually help you then. This is all you then. I need a acrobatics and athletics.
Okay. I'm gonna go for athletics because that's higher.
Well, I'm saying I need both. You both need to be athletic and acrobatic to do what you're doing.
Do I have
Okay.
like? Am I giving like the radiation thing from being a paladin?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
I rolled a
No
17.
problem. Healer, runs over the edge of the auditorium, grabs a rope firmly, wraps her hand in it, and then cuts it loose from the wall, and a large chandelier comes crashing down into some cultists, decking them to the floor as you go zooming up to the ceiling, let go of the rope at the right of the last second, and land beautifully up on a rafter, wobble a little bit to basically settle yourself and start carefully making your way towards the skylight. Krishana.
Yeah, top that.
All right, Krishana, what are you up to?
So Krishana has an insanity to celebrate, so she's just intrigued, like she's watching a fireworks show. Krishana has the insanity to celebrate, so
Okay,
she's
I got
just
that.
watching
So
a
you
fireworks show.
there is nothing to celebratory as it basically various men and women are beginning to scream, and various others are running towards the door, which are quickly going to block you off from various exits as they crowd around them to get the heck out of here. So there's
Okay,
nothing
seeing that
celebratory
Owl-
anymore. So your insanity doesn't
I will Misty step up. I'll Misty step up to
Misty step up to the roof. Poof. All right, you appear next to right behind healer, and I need a acrobatics check to balance on the one of the rafters. All right, you basically slip on the rafter, and let's see, healer, make me an athletics check to try to grab Krishana before he falls off.
Okay.
Okay, so healer is now basically playing Flying Winlindas with Krishana herself and Owl, as trying to balance as you sort of you have a hold of. You're sort of holding each other dynamically stable at this point, as you have Krishana basically by one arm. You're leaning back, and she's counterbalancing on the other side of the beam like a big. All right, Lady Emma, athletics and acrobatics. Do you actually try to land next to these two, or do you try to pick some other rafter?
I'm gonna pick a different rafter.
Oh, what? We're not gonna all load up on the same rafter? Okay, fine. All right.
All right. Athletics.
And acrobatics.
Good right now.
Wow.
Okay. And then
Lady Emma leaps up basically like a cat, like runs all the way across the beam, jumps out to the skylight, licks her paws, starts taking a nap.
beautiful.
Okay.
Dirk got a
so
23.
23. And... Okay, athletics and acrobatics.
Oh, you need an athletics and acrobatics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
I
can-
got 23 on athletics and I'm 23 on acrobatics and 13 on athletics.
Okay. It's an ugly
So
ride
yeah,
to the top as you're really light and the chandelier is really heavy as you go flying into the ceiling, bounce off the ceiling for 5 points of damage, and but you land beautifully on one of the rafters. I meant to
Yay!
do that.
Exactly. I stuck the landing.
Yes.
All right. You all carefully make your way across the rafters as the yellow tentacle thing that used to be a woman starts stabbing its tentacles into various cultists who you do not particularly feel bad for, but it's like serves you right.
Owl
Uh,
tossed
Are we
fireball
all
at the sight.
out? Are
As
we
you
all
see,
out of
basically,
the-
each of these people's skin, basically, wherever the tentacle struck, basically, their skin turns like a bright jaundice yellow. Their hair begins to like it's alive, and their clothing and their red robes suddenly turn a stark sort of like off, like putrid yellow.
Good. Does anyone want Lady Emma to cough a fireball on this thing?
Thank God. No fire.
Yes.
I think we
Oh,
need.
Well, wait. Can we see how to get out of here? We're up in the rafters and there's a skylight.
You effectively are out of.
Okay, yeah. I think, yeah, let's burn it down if we can get out. But like, escape first, then
Already
fireball.
out of here.
Yeah. I think it could only improve the situation, you know?
Okay, so I need an Arcana check, Lady. Cast a fire.
Our experience of fire
And
always
I
makes things
can't-
better.
I'm guessing that as a tiger, I can't use my special wand, right?
No, you cannot use your special wand as a tiger.
I didn't think so.
In fact, you
Oh,
cannot use any gear at
no.
all, essentially. All right, so Lady Emma begins to hork up a fireball.
I've never heard such a word. Such a word. Oh,
I've heard it. It's pretty funny. Oh my god.
It comes out and basically it's sort of like large and gloopy, and it like it splats on the floor, and it doesn't quite blow up as large, but it seems to be very intense on that particular spot, as several of the yellow tentacle beings basically sear and burn, making this inhuman screeching noise as they perish in flames. Lord Harcourt, the individual in the golden yellow robe with the tentacle mask, looks up at you, makes sort of scratches these arcane symbols in the air with violent rips and chops, and the okay, so I need okay, so I need okay, I need everybody to give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Okay. Wisdom
18?
save.
Yes.
oh, damn.
21.
11.
19.
12.
Oh my God, Krishana.
Okay, so Krishana basically let's see.
A
So-
21 for
Magic item,
wisdom.
and it is destroyed. As he basically effectively casts disjunction on a lot of you. Lady Emma turns back into Lady Emma. Whoever's a cat turns back immediately into a cat.
I mean, back into human.
Or turns back into a human or whatever race they were before.
Owl just like
For some of you, this is more awkward than others, as basically like Owl, who weighs almost as much as Healer, is like on top of her shoulders.
just like is confused for a second, and then like rolls off like kind of probably clunkily.
You're just about to step off the rafter. It's like, ah!
Oh shit!
I'll
Why
grab
did
her.
no one listen to me when I said run? I'm just as
So whoever failed a save here, basically you have one item destroyed.
All right.
Okay, so Krishana, hey, maybe you can get rid of a cursed item.
Oh, that's good.
Just cursed item you had is now destroyed, so you're not
Yeah,
done
but
with.
as far as the crown is an artifact, so it cannot be destroyed.
Yeah, I and I don't have that stone. It's just a tattoo now. But I have an arm blade that I
Godzilla.
Bless you. I'm going to start running with Owl and yell at everyone, run! Why are you just standing here? Why aren't you running? Let's move!
Okay,
Lady, I was gonna
you notice.
it.
Okay, so this is the thing. So that guy basically casts some sort of like incredibly powerful like dispel magic, literally destroys items. And then Shauna, you lose an item. Owl, did you make your set? I don't think
I did not. I
you
deleted
did not.
it.
You have to pick an item to destroy. So like the holy water sprinkler, an arm blade, other magical item.
Oh yeah, no, I had an arm blade. Yeah.
Okay, Zumlar, did you make your save?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right, so you're just turned back into Zumlar. Dirk make their save.
Yeah, 21.
Great. Okay, so all right, you're noticing some of your magic items simply don't work at the moment. You're hoping that they'll come back, but some people notice some of their items have turned into silvery powder at this point, as if they were just, and there's no coming back from that.
I don't know how to tell you this, but we've lost the marbles of tripping and falling.
Oh, no. Those were so much fun.
Just
Okay.
no. No.
All right. The about that period of time, Harcourt rings the crystal statue again. And there's basically yellowish energy ripples out of the statue and begins to absorb into him as he begins to fly. And now we're gonna roll initiative because we're starting a combat.
God damn it!
Damn it.
Ah! That's a nat 1, so I roll it again.
So I got 21 for
Also,
that because I got a nat
because we're
20.
about to start a fight, I'm gonna use some lay on
Oh
hands.
no,
cool,
it was
'cause
a
I'm
16.
down
It was
for
a
being
7.
stupid.
So
Well, I'm saying you are running at this point. It's like they are chasing. So that's so you can have a running fight if you want, but I'm saying they are starting to basically get after.
and Lawrence went to all the trouble to figure out this encounter, so we should at least fight it, right?
Oh no, it's like you can run away, but you have to figure out how to get out of the cave first. So it's like you are basically trapped in here with these guys at the moment until you figure out a way out.
Oh, I thought the skylight went out.
Yeah,
Out into the cave.
Skylight.
You're in this model Potemkin village inside a cave.
Okay.
So that is you're still trapped in the cave with these people until you figure out a way out.
Now I have to roll low
No,
initiative.
not drum set.
No.
You have to pick that. It can be whatever you like, really, but it has a pick one item. Okay, the drum set's fine. So if you want to have the drum set for it, that's okay. Though that might have helped you out of here since it had a horn of blasting function, which basically destroys doors and barriers, right? So you may want to keep that. Though it may be awkward to set up in time, but that's...
Yeah, don't lose the drum set.
From like my percussion methods experience, that thing takes so long to put together though.
Oh, the other thing is the drum set is probably in the bag of it's not something you carry around.
Oh yeah, that
on your
was
person.
Yeah, the stuff that Dirk's been carrying around is back at the house. Until we get another bag of holding.
Well, you fix the one you have, I guess, either way. So,
Right, yeah. It's the Mage's College either way, I think.
okay. All right, let's see here. So, I got a 24. So what was what do we got for our top initiative so far?
I got 21.
Owl's 4.
Okay.
Dirk got a 16.
The bad guys are looking like they're going first. All right. Okay, Lord Harcourt emerges wreathed in yellow glowing energy as he sort of narrows his eyes and golden beams of light shoot out from his eyes, rake over. All right, let's go from healer to owl. So healer, Krishana, Lady Emma, and owl. I need con saves.
Okay.
25.
As you're all running across the roof and see this guy emerge like Superman and basically laser eye beam all of you. Okay, full damage is 35, half damage 7. As basically beams of force rake over you, like almost cutting some people in half.
Oh, wow. Got a
Definitely
natural
blows apart the roof everywhere it hits.
Do my necrotic or radiant defenses help me in this game?
Force. No.
Dang.
There's very few people that get resist.
Is it force damage, you said?
It is force.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Crap. So half of
I
35
need help. I'm human again, and that's a problem.
Oh, shoot.
That's not to say you can't reactivate the brooch. I'm saying it's got turned off. Anything that was an active magical effect got turned off.
Yeah. Well, I just lost about half of my hit points, so.
Okay, and then, all right, then the high priest, you see him emerge, basically, these, like, masses of tentacles basically form a pillar underneath him and sort of shove him out the opening in the skylight as this sort of wreathing mask of, wreathing wave of tentacles, like he sort of rides out open, and he basically pulls off his mask and it's like, okay, so owl and tree essentially wisdom, as you happen to be looking back at the time essentially and look into the face of oblivion.
Oh god, and that one.
I believe.
Oh no, it's a 7. 14.
I'm gonna re-roll that because it was not good.
Remember, you got +2.
Shit, that was. Oh, that's still no good. So I'm gonna
So,
roll it
it
one
would be
last
16.
time. That was my last
Plus
luck,
2.
and that's an 8 and 12 too. So it got to 14. That was the best I could do.
Okay, so both of you are blind, deaf, and stunned.
Oh, great.
Jeez. Okay.
So stun means we can't take any actions, right?
That is correct. You, as you basically look into the face of other sheer destruction, certain destruction, and basically, like your whole world goes blank.
And is that until the end of their turn, or the end of our next turn, or
The end of their next.
okay?
So Owl and Tree freeze up and basically begin to curl up into fetal balls and going as if something they saw something they really shouldn't. Okay, so we'll start with Tree.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
wisdom
Oh, okay. So I get to try and roll out. So
still happens at the end.
yeah, that's
Just minimally.
I like
This is
that.
probably for your next round.
Okay, so that's 15, and then do I get +2 from Zumlar?
Doesn't Owl have some sort of like crown that the crown gives her like 19 charisma.
Yeah.
So you have at least +4.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes it a 19.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you're blinking your eyes, and it's like everything is like there's this thick haze and sparkly stars over everything. There's this horrible ringing in your head as you're going, "What happened?" As you're getting up off the ground. Okay. So your next turn, basically say you're ready but slowed. Okay, Zumlar.
I'm going to run, and I'm going to actually tell everyone to keep running, and I'm going to try to shield everyone.
Yeah.
You're the only one that didn't get hit by anything, so you are like well ahead of everybody else as you see everybody get decked to the ground by killer I-beam, yellow I-beam, or seeing something that mortals were not meant to see. As see the whole rest of your party fall down as you're like 10 paces ahead of everybody else, and you're like, should I turn back at this point and start trying to pick people back up? That is your choice. Like,
so everyone starts seeing someone really pissed off, and like his eyes start to glow white. So the curse in the armor is starting to come out.
All right.
And then he
So
seems to
these
be
are
very fast.
technically British nobles, so yes, the curse applies. So you do you rush back and assault the two heads of the Order of Hermes, or do you start picking people up and dragging them away? So what do you want to do?
I am going to attack the leaders.
Okay, so pick one or the other. Effectively, they're not close. One is flying up in the air, though you can leap up to him, and the other one is riding a tidal wave of yellow tentacle.
I'm going to Misty step up to the one who is flying and just try to drag him down and keep just stabbing him.
Okay, so I need a grapple check to at least hold on to him, and then do your normal.
Grapple is athletics?
Yeah, so you need 18 or better.
So anything of 10 or better, pretty much, is because I got +9 to athletics.
So fine.
Nat 20.
Okay, no problem. You you appear directly behind him and grab him around the neck. You've got an excellent hold on him as you stab him in the back. Go ahead and roll to hit with advantage.
This is the point where I wish I had 9 life stealer. And that's a nat 20. Oh, nope. No, it was on the edge. We'll roll that because it was actually. So that's a 28.
All right. You drill your sword straight through his chest, out the front. Parker sort of gasps as he's like, "Inconceivable!" as he coughs up blood. Okay, so roll for however many damage you want. Crit.
Let's see. And then I forgot. Do I get a additional damage due to the curse?
I'll give you a D8.
And preferred enemy. So I'm going to massive energy on this one. And then the sword as well, I think, has enemies of turn nog. So additional. So I have a D8 and a D6.
I have you too.
Seven. So 22. And then so that's 22 for the normal damage. And then I'm going to just put max amount. Let's see. What's
Okay,
the
so roll
best
10d8.
smite?
Jesus.
Yeah, roll that in chat here.
Go to shares on Saturday the 31st.
Saturday the 31st is New Year's Eve.
All right.
The 24th, right?
Okay, yeah.
So 90 damage in total.
90? That's ridiculous and
Zumlar's,
wonderful.
yeah, no, Zumlar's like Loki OP. He's it's great.
That's just
What?
amazing.
Right?
Holy shit. What character class are you?
He's a paladin and he just crit, so he's like max smite, like 10d8. Then his
wow.
sword does somewhere around
My-
2d6, so just another 4d6. So all right, you rip straight through his chest, and like blood spurts out from his mouth, and like it begins to like froth as the yellow energies begin to drain out of him. He withers and begins sort of converts into this giant mass of worms, basically collapses out of your grip as you're falling towards the ground. You crash into the ceiling of the cathedral, through the ceiling and down into the floor for 20 points.
Ow!
But this guy is definitely dead. Ow.
Hell yeah. So
Wow.
the big guy's gone, so now we just have the cultists.
You have the hype.
We have the high
I
priest.
just killed the high priest.
Hardcore.
You killed Harcourt.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The Adventurers Club guy that went to Grand Carcosia and found these rare and wonderful artifacts from Yellow King.
Okay. Is there any chance to kind of help out, like, even though I'm blinded, stunned, and deafened? Is there, like...
Well, you need to roll a wisdom save, right?
You make a wisdom save right now, you can start to get out of it early. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck like this until you make a save. So.
Okay, so I can't, like, cast a spell while I'm in those conditions.
Well, now, wait, that was the high priest that cast that, so if he's dead now, is the spell still in effect?
No, the Harcourt is the one that was, like, flying around like
okay.
yellow aura around him.
Okay.
Like, High Priest is the guy that's basically riding a tidal wave of tentacles.
Yeah, and he's still here. Okay, sorry about that.
Yes. Okay,
but
so Al, I need you to make a wisdom save to get out, and then based on that, how well you roll me.
Okay.
Can Lady Emma help at this point?
11. Nope.
Yes, Lady Emma, what would you like to do?
Lady Emma wants to cast Disintegrate on the big tentacle being thing.
Okay. Are you casting at his feet, or are you casting at the High Priest himself?
Casting at the High Priest himself.
The High Priest himself, is like, his visage basically shakes for a split second, and then it sort of reestablishes itself. He sort of turns his head to the side and places the porcelain mask back on and looks at you with his baleful blue eyes. Lady Emma. Oh, never mind. That was your. I'm sorry, Lady Emma.
Yeah.
You disintegrate. Do you wish to move to someplace that's in cover where he can't see you?
Yeah.
You hide behind a gargoyle. Oh, that didn't work. That was bad. That didn't work. Krishana. Okay, Krishana. Healer.
I'm debating whether or not I should cast Spirit Guardians or Mass Healing Word. Thoughts? Anyone?
Dirk is about half damage at the moment. So,
Okay, I'm going to now casting Healing Word at level 4. Did that work? Did it go? No. What the hell? I'm trying to cast it.
Does it show on your D&D Beyond?
There it goes.
Okay.
That's it? I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I hope that
Remember,
14 helped.
That helps a lot, actually.
Is healer a life cleric? Or...
I'm a war cleric.
You're a war cleric. Oh, okay. Well, in the future, that means you're actually good at melee. Then it means you get extra attacks. So you may want to invest in a weapon.
Well, I have a weapon. You mean like should I?
I think you should invest in a magical weapon because you can do 2 attacks like all the other melee war.
Well, I have magic weapon.
Yeah, but I'm saying at this because you're like 11th level characters.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I get a bonus action. I get a bonus action. I'm going to cast magic weapon on my weapon.
Nice.
Okay.
Hell
Right.
yeah.
That is just for future reference. Then, if you're actually a war cleric, you should go buy or find good magic weapon. Okay, so let's see here.
Yeah, I'm going to cast magic weapon on my weapon.
Okay, your magic
And
weapon
Thea,
is-
remind us we need to go get that from the St. Mary's people.
Yeah.
With healing
Okay,
word.
the high priest. The high priest makes a casual wave of his hand. Massive tentacles underneath you begin to creep through the air and shoot out in every direction towards everyone in general. You need a dex save for everybody.
Okay. All right. I have magic.
Oh,
Cast magic weapon.
Krishana
So you
asked
said
to
dex
say
save?
there.
Dex save, yes, DC 18.
Oh,
Oh,
Crap.
thank
Oh
God.
God, I'm rolling bad tonight.
I got a 16.
I just barely made it. 19.
Do we have any pluses from anybody on that?
Next
17.
to Owl, you have +4. If you're no one is next to Zumlar at this point in the.
Okay.
I fell.
Zumlar is
wait.
realizing. Well, let's see here. There are maybe 10 living cultists in here and a giant, massive yellow tentacle with like little creepy little maws with like way too many serrated in rows upon rows, like the inside of a turtle's mouth.
So Dirk.
Well, they had to be scared that I just annihilated one of their leaders.
Okay, so I get
Some
+4.
Yeah. Also,
So
like
you're next to
I'm
Owl,
raging.
so I think the only person that qualifies that's next to Owl probably Dirk. Probably Lady Emma at the.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I still made my dex save, so that's good.
Just
No,
wait.
you're fine. Okay, so full damage is 35, half damage is 17, and
That just-
this
wait,
is
my-
necrotic damage if that matters.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think I have resistance to
So
necrotic.
half of 17.
Well,
It's
I'm resistant
8.
to poison.
Okay,
I'm
so
in
in this case, it doesn't matter. All right, so
Guys,
necrotic damage gets.
guys, I'm gonna need some healing here in a little bit.
And Healer,
Yeah.
thanks for that 14 because that really came in handy.
Oh, so we all get
Yeah.
14? Okay.
Yeah, so
I
everybody
didn't-
gets to 14, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
You can
confused
add
on that.
Yeah, so
Okay, that helps.
I guess my next turn I'm gonna cast Healing Word again. Maybe I should try casting Healing Word at level 5.
And Al, when you come out of this, I'm down to 28. So maybe some lay on hands on yourself, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I have 35 points of lay on hands at the ready. Also Krishana is at 1 HP, so we got to keep that in mind.
Oh crap. Okay.
Well, my next turn, I will cast Healing Word at level 5. Or level 6. Either or.
Let's see. So
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so that he used all three of his legendaries basically to have Tentacle Swarm go after everybody, and then he takes his actual action to point his finger down at Zumlar. Azothoth, take you, as this basically black void appears in mid, basically. Otherworldly maw basically swallows up Zumlar, and he disappears.
What?
What? Holy shit.
Okay, you are banished for 1d4 rounds. Take 30 points of damage per round. Starting now, 30 points.
Jesus.
Oh,
Is that for everybody?
No, that's just for Zumlar. He's like, he attracted the attention of the high priest. So, okay.
So wait, how many
Oh,
rounds?
dear.
unless we can kill the high priest.
Seen some form of banishment spell before, so he is currently can be undone with the spell magic, but he's probably stuck in there for the foreseeable future until someone gets him out of there, or you knock the high priest out of concentration. Zumlar basically feels all sorts of like little gnawing maws, basically tearing at every tender point on his body. Dirk.
Oh.
Okay. So Dirk is now out of all of his conditions, and he's like kind of in rough shape. So he's gonna.
You come out and you are slowed. So other than that, yes, you have.
Oh, I'm still
so
slowed.
you
Okay.
you have an action, a bonus, or a move. I guess that's what slowed.
Okay, and it's that way for the foreseeable future, or just this round?
That is for the rest of the combat, unless someone drop a spell
Okay.
or lesser restoration.
So I'm gonna cast mirror image on myself. So that means that there's going to be 3 more Dirks, and anytime any damage comes, I'll roll to see which one hits.
Okay, got it. Bloop, what's up? Okay, Zumlar is stuck in there for the foreseeable future until someone gets you out. Ow.
Okay, do I still only make a wisdom save to try to get rid of the conditions again?
You are... yes, do make a wisdom.
Okay. 25.
Okay.
Nice.
You pop out of it, basically. You are, like Dirk, you are slowed, but you're up and ready to go. Essentially, you're moving painfully slowly, and you're basically are seeing stars, but you're awake.
Do I have the ability to cast a spell?
Yes.
Okay,
If you want to cast Lesser Restoration yourself, or if you want to use hands or whatever you want to do.
This guy can't be put to sleep, can he?
That is highly, highly unlikely.
Damn it. Okay, and then hypnotic pattern hold person probably wouldn't work great either, huh?
Definitely he might be a person, but given his eyes glow with the blue glow of undeath, he's probably undead. So
Damn.
no, he's not a person.
Okay, but hypnotic pattern doesn't apply to just people. I think it all creatures.
It might apply to.
Okay.
What is that?
It's a knitted Evangelion angel sweater.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna ask
No.
one. Should I Krishana nearby?
that's her.
Krishana is not nearby. Essentially, she's off with healer the moment apparently you, Alan, Dirk, you got thrown off to one side with the
It's
yellow
a sweater.
team, and healer
That was
got
knitted.
thrown someplace else.
Knitted.
Okay. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Well, I know Dirk needs some healing, so is that lesser restoration? I'm sorry.
Lesser Restoration will get rid of the slow completely. If you want to cast it at 3rd level, allow you to cast.
Or you can unslow yourself, right? If you're
I'm
gonna.
just saying, if he wants to upcast it at 3rd level, allow you to affect 2 targets.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna unslow Dirk and myself.
Oh,
Okay,
that
so
sounds
the scars and the wooziness all go away. You're feeling both much better. Back up the.
good. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh God.
Yeah.
What?
Lady Emma. Okay. Where are we at right now? I need to cast something big.
So if he's undead, then radiant will hurt him, right?
Radiant should probably.
That would be good. Generally, with evil stuff.
Okay.
You could try the tentacle mass instead of the high priest itself. It probably has probably has worse saves than the high priest himself. If you want to disintegrate something, that might be something.
Okay, let's try that. Let's try disintegrating the tentacle mass and not the actual high priest.
Okay, you see the tentacle mass underneath the high priest disappears all the way, you have its volume as the high priest goes falling back into.
Damn.
As he was standing on the whole thing. So you blow out the platform that was on. He comes crashing into the pile of tentacles. Whether or not that did him any damage or not is hard to tell since you can't see him. Krishana.
I'm gonna use my bonus action. Can I Misty Step up, to the top of the skylight or like over the floor?
Yes, you could go head over there and look through the skylight. There's a sort of just a giant hole where these two powerful beings have blown their way out to the top of the temple. Yeah, you're looking down there at the moment. You can see the guy in the yellow robe and porcelain mask sort of struggling to get back up. You don't see any sign of Zumlar at all. It's like, oh, I don't know what happened to him. It's like he should be down there.
All right, I'm gonna Misty Step. Try and find cover.
Okay, well, you can use just the edge of the roof as cover, so that's fine. So what else are you...
Okay, I'll do that, and then I am going to call out my familiar. Am I able to drop into his senses in the same round, or do I have to use next round? Because that's an action.
So you don't even have to drop into his senses. What do you want to do with? If you wanted to use him to cast a touch spell,
I'm seeking cover. Then I'm going to.
So if you want to use your familiar to attack,
Yeah, then I'm flying
send
over.
your familiar over there to attack High Priest or the Tentacle.
I was going to use my familiar just to heal anybody that's down, and while I try and stay hiding.
Okay, so that is Lady Emma looks bad, Owl looks bad, Tree looks bad, Healer technically looks bad. So it's like everybody, including yourself, looks kind of beat up.
If it helps, I'm only because of the 14, and I'm only down 20. I still have 70 points. So I'm good.
Krishana, I think you're down harder than anybody else. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
do some self-healing. Yeah, exactly.
Am I able to heal myself this round?
Yes, certainly.
All right, I'm going to dump my max spell slot. I think it's 3rd into me for Cure Wounds.
You could just use your Warlock. Oh, you get a D6 per level when you have 11. Oh, how many Warlock levels do you have?
I stopped at 4th level Warlock.
Oh, you have 4. Okay, so you have 4 D. From your Celestial Warlock if you want to use it. Either way, so. Okay, so go ahead and cast your spell and heal yourself up. Healer.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right,
So,
you happen to be hanging over the edge, and you saw what happened to Zumlar at this point, so do you try to bring him back out of banishment? You leave him where he's
how can I do that?
You have Dispel Magic.
Yes. All right. So, in that case, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic.
That, or you could take the risk, essentially, and try to bonk the priest hard enough to where he loses concentration.
Well, I have an idea. First, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, I can hit him with Sacred Flame.
Fair enough. Good. Try both. Okay, so go roll me a d20, add your wisdom.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. All right, the Eater of Azathoth, the spell is holding. So you see Zumlar's arm sort of stick out from an extra-dimensional space for a second, sucked back in. Okay, High Priest will use his 3 legendary actions, essentially another...
Wait.
Oh, yeah,
Don't I get to Sacred Flame him?
Sacred Flame. Yeah, roll it. Flame. The Sacred Flame, bounces off his robes as he rolls a 20.
No, that's the damage.
No, I'm saying he makes his save, so does no damage.
Off. Well, shit.
He made a deck save.
Yeah, he made his deck save.
Yeah, so I rolled a 20, so yes, he...
Okay, well...
That's unfortunately, so...
Okay, that's all I can do.
All right, Zumlar, since you got someone attempted to get you out of there, will take less damage, take 20 damage. Okay, and let's see here. Zumlar, give me a strength save.
Strength save.
Try to pull yourself out through the tiny gap in the portal.
24.
Right.
Nice.
All right,
Hell
you
yeah.
manage to like pull yourself halfway out. It's like you see Zumlar basically sticking out of like a black portal in midair, and it's like there's half of him in it and the other half not. But you can see his armor is all corroded. He's bleeding from like tiny bite marks all over his body. You see bone like exposed on his hand, where his gauntlet has been stripped away.
And he looks exceptionally pissed off.
Okay, give me another save. If you're successful again, you break out free.
Nat 20.
No problem. All right, you pour yourself out of the portal. It's like there are large gaps in your armor where like looks like it's dulled by acid, and then underneath that, red flesh as skin has all been peeled away. Okay.
This is gonna be expensive effects.
As Zumlar bleeds on the bleeds red blood. Let's see here. And then Shauna, do you think? The high priest taps on his tentacle mass. Black bolt of energy shoots out from his forehead and hits Healer in the face, essentially. Okay, so you take 24 necrotic damage. Face.
Don't get a deck save or anything.
So no. But
Well, shit.
as you get clocked in the face and like roll backwards over the lip of the cathedral and are lying flat on your back, it's like there's this glowing black energy rippling over you like living lightning, continuing to tear into you. All right. The high priest basically claps his hands together, and the yellow tentacles fold over him and making him disappear into the massive tentacle. Dirk.
Dirk is going to use his performance of creation to create a vat of holy water over the top of the high priest and have it fall on him.
So I can't remember how much gold of stuff can you create.
It is 120 gold.
Do you want to use the Nuzer's magical pigments instead and create even more?
Yes.
All right. How much of the red painter stuff do you want to commit to? Commit up to basically probably about an eighth. And that is something huge. That's like probably like 50 gallons basically of water or holy water or whatever.
Yeah, let's do 1/8 of it then.
Okay, I need a performance check.
Okay.
Note that you've used up 1/8 paint.
Okay, that's a 17 performance
All right.
check.
All right, you masterfully paint like blue rolling waves of water that glitter with golden bits, motes of holy energy, as this giant glob of holy water apparates in midair at the tip of your brush, and you send it flying down on top of the massive tentacles. There's this horrible boiling and sizzling as the putrid stench of boiling rotten flesh basically hits your nostrils as the high priest basically is sort of revealed underneath as the tentacles begin to melt, fade away.
Nice.
And then for bonus action, I'm going to do Bardic Inspiration on Zumlar.
Zumlar, you're up.
How close is the
Well, you're right next to him, so you're both on the floor.
Oh.
He's maybe about 10, 15 feet away from you. Looks at you. Curiously, it's like, how are you still alive?
Well, I'm still alive, but you're not going to be alive for much longer. Let's see. Come on. Crit. I want to attack him twice.
Okay.
There's one crit. I got a 19.
Roll a wisdom save.
So 19 plus it's actually 30.
Damn.
Because I have a plus 11 to attack. To hit.
Okay, no, that's fine. Roll a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Uh, 22.
You feel for a split second this aversion to attack for whatever reason, and that goes away. That goes away.
Pure rage.
Pure rage. Hate you.
So, second attack is a nat 20.
Okay, great.
And then I'm going to use maximum smite. So I'm going to use my last 2 third levels slots.
As your blade goes into his robes, you feel your blade pierce through, go through him, all the way to the hilt, and then you feel your blade pierce through your back. It's like,
what?
Your faith will fail you, Paladin. I'll roll the damage.
Fuck.
Damn.
How did we end up here?
Right?
I have no
He doesn't
idea.
roll anywhere near as hot dice as you do. Okay, so you take 51 points of damage. Your own blade like pierces you, and you feel your holy energy rip through your chest. See your own blade pierce through your chest.
Oh
Okay,
dear.
Then
That's terrifying.
okay, are you still up, Zumlar?
Yeah. Barely.
Okay, give me the damage on your other attack. Do this.
That's a crit as well.
No, that's fine. Give me 46 plus 10d8 plus 5.
Let's see. 46. 14. So it's plus 7. That's 5.
Plus 7, okay. All right, fine.
There's 15 on that one. Oh, fuck.
What do you say? We.
Nosotros
Nosotros son muertos.
están muertos.
Son otro.
72 damage.
Están muertos.
Right, the high priest, basically.
Oh, no.
The,
70.
the porcelain mask, which you
79.
thought was actually porcelain, sort of like
Estamos
animates,
muertos.
wiggles. They're going,
Sorry, 79 damage.
You're going.
Wow.
You're basically like looking
De
at him.
nuevo?
Here's
Again?
his mask, sort of like his mask, which you thought was porcelain, sort of all the going. Ow.
Okay, if I cast channel divinity
Did
against
I
this
meet
guy,
who?
is it gonna kill Zumlar?
I don't remember.
Her catchphrase was dead.
So now
I
you
mean-
can basically simply revert. You can reverse any attack that damage that caused to one of your party members back onto.
Yes, yeah. Because like he basically hit Zumlar by like Zumlar hitting him, right?
That's correct. All right, so he fails to save. He's like,
Zumlar.
at that point, Owl basically holds out her holy symbol. And it's like, curse those that are wicked, and
Big meanies.
Zoma and the high priest at this point basically takes another giant, gaping, glowing chest wound and then disintegrates basically into a massive, like, red and yellow worms that basically scrabble out in every direction. His porcelain mask and robes flop.
Does the tattoo on her hand take any of those grubs?
You're a little far away to do that, but you could always hop down there and try to suck something up. That's about 40 feet to the floor, though. Do you want to do that?
No, Owl's gonna try to avoid doing that. I was just curious if that was a thing.
Like, if I leap down there fast enough, wait a minute.
It's like, what? No! And she like looks at
No. It's that Owl is basically like. Okay, so healer takes an additional 20 points of damage before the round is done because that's before the spell. But the unholy bolt energies that are eating her up are not dispelled at this. Healer, do you want to cast another spell on yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so are you still alive after taking 20 more damage?
Yes, but just barely.
Okay, so you cast a spell, you dispel the unholy energy that are coursing through your body and try to rip through you like worms. Like, oh! as you notice, there's all these horrible like pierce marks where the magic has sort of like sewn through your flesh like a worm eating dirt.
Okay, and can I bonus action Sacred Flame the tentacle mass?
The tentacle mass already got destroyed by.
Okay, can I Sacred Flame the High Priest?
You Sacred Flame the bits of worm that are like crawling away in nooks and crannies. But it doesn't seem to be quite as effective as you hope because they're just like thousands of like it's like maggot roundup. They're just going all like the maggot races are going everywhere. As they crawl into the floor and every gap, disappearing out of.
Okay, in that case, I say to the group, I propose we adjourn to our safe house.
Agreed.
Okay.
Does
Does anybody pick up weird artifacts from like the crystal statue or the mask or the robe of the high priest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Countless wands, wavy daggers, and cult. Well, never mind. The cultist clothing is destroyed, but there's and samples of elder thing all over the place. If you want to scoop them up into a jar.
Yes.
Lady,
I'm
I
gonna
definitely
cast
want
magic.
some elder thing.
Is anyone below
A
10?
sample of elder thing. She scoops it up into a jar and suddenly notices there's an eyeball there from inside the jar.
I
and
am
then,
at 11.
Lady Emma's also gonna pick up a dagger.
You pick up a wavy dagger. It's like you test its sharpness with the tip of your finger. It's like, ow, that's sharp.
Can Owl grab the crystal statue because it's big and shiny?
Owl basically heaves it up and puts it over her shoulder, and everybody looks at Owl. It's like, and Owl's going, "What?" Like, it's like, and everybody's going,
Shiny.
"I don't know of anything that could be more cursed than that item."
Yeah, Owl.
Owl, you can't bring that home. It's not going to follow you home. You need to leave it here in its natural habitat.
Owl? She's just
Oh, God.
Like, I can't even sell it to the necromancers?
What in the name of Freya wrong with you?
You don't want the necromancers to have that, I don't think.
You don't know that.
Because basically, like all cursed people, she attracts other cursed. The mallet that Lord Harcourt basically using to ring the statue is right at Owl's right now.
I'm going to use my spiritual weapon to destroy that flippin' hammer before Owl can get her hands on it.
Okay, so give me a 2-hit roll, basically AC-18.
I use
I'm starting to
spiritual weapon.
realize how much of a problem child Owl is.
My spiritual weapon does 20 points of damage
The damage is any amount of damage is enough to destroy it. I just need to know if you. So it has a.
It's got to do a wisdom saving throw.
Well, yeah, spiritual weapon. You actually rolled it. It's,
Yeah, I
roll a d20 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom bonus, I believe. So there's probably around a plus 7 or 8 at this point. So you need a 10 or better on.
Okay. So 1d4 plus 1d20.
1d20, and just you need a 10 or better.
Son of a sow. All right.
Nice.
Okay, no problem. You ping the mallet away from Owl before she's forgetting. She just sort of unconsciously ducks down to pick it up, and you ping it away basically with your spiritual. What does your spiritual weapon look like, out of curiosity?
It looks like a giant warhammer.
Okay, so a warhammer basically like golf shots the mallet away off into a corner with a loud batang. It's like as healers going, no, just no.
No, bad.
Bad. Owl simply sits there and looks disappointed. Thinks about going over to retrieve it, and then like as everybody sort of like stands like a soccer wall and going, "Don't you go there!" Don't you...
So no statue and no hammer.
Is there anything shiny around here?
Statue just licks the statue in defiance. Okay.
Okay, like, is there anything shiny I can use to distract her from the statue?
Well, there's the mask.
That's not.
That seems like a worse idea.
Shiny daggers, maybe?
Well, there's shiny daggers all over the place. There's the shiny robe, and there's the shiny mask. Yeah, there's daggers and wands scattered all over the floor.
Yeah.
The clothing that the people were in is like torn to bits. There's still about 10 cultists like cowering in the back of the temple at this point, hiding themselves behind these like red curtains at this point, peering out, going, I hope they don't. Maybe if we pretend we don't see them, they won't see us. Sort of deal.
They have to be because he just took down like one big guy in a single shot, and then I tanked a ton of damage.
Okay, so Krishana, you heal up a total of 58. You can divide that out however you like, I guess.
I can also like give some healing. I have like 35 points of lay on hands pool, and I could probably cast some cure wounds as well.
Oh, I'm going to use my full amount of lay on hands on myself.
Yeah, what is every points right?
Your pool? Did you multi-class? Because you should have 55 for being level 11.
Oh, I used some on myself.
You used some earlier. Okay, now I get it. All right.
Sorry. Yeah, because I was like already down 20 points from the battle start. I'm like, that's not going to be a good idea. I don't trust Lawrence on this one.
Okay. All right. So, are you just gonna do the quick once over around the temple itself and then leave using the most obvious way of leaving here is using another teleportation circle, hopefully to someplace safer.
Should we collect some daggers and wands to sell?
I think Dirk wants some wands for sure.
You walk up to one of the you collect all the daggers and wands on the floor. You walk up to the curtain. It's like, throw out your daggers and wands now.
I'm in a bag.
This is a breakdown. Give us all your daggers.
And dance on one foot.
I'll look at the cultists and demand.
Throw out the robe and dance on one foot. You're going. It's like at some point or another, Dirk as the only adult in the room, get out so we can leave.
So Zumlar's going to demand and ask if there's any like better like loot and where they keep their money and stuff.
You killed the only two people that would have known.
They weren't going to tell us. Nothing lost.
Zumlar's like limping.
Yeah.
And he looks like hell.
Yeah. Do you want some extra like? I was gonna walk over and give him 35 lay on hands.
Lady Emma could use some help too. Thank you, Krishana.
Okay, I'm sure I have some spell slots left. Let's see.
So this is the time you can use like prayer, 1 minute casting second level spell that heals a lot.
Lady Emma can use her what's it called?
Zumlar, you got 35 points from me.
All right, thank you. I'm back up to 101 hit points now.
Hell yeah.
132.
I'm gonna use healing hand elf.
Okay.
Let's see. I've got another use of mass healing words.
Okay.
Use that on everybody?
Yes. Oh, you want to cover everybody? Healing word's pretty good choice. I think you're. I don't know. Are you high level to mass cure wounds?
Everyone take 11 points of healing.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
I'm actually I've been up to full
Mass
health.
cure wounds is 5th level. But let's see here. Okay, so
Wow, my persuasion.
people generally satisfied with their healing at this point, or are we?
If anybody has
Yeah.
any extra, I'm still down
I have
30
Let me
points.
give you I have some 3rd level cure wounds. I'm gonna use that on you, Dirk.
Okay.
Dirk. Sorry. I'm gonna roll that. That is going you get 11 points.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to also use a healing word on Dirk. Or would you prefer? Oh, no, I'm going to use cure wounds on Dirk at level 5.
Oh wow, thank you.
So take 23 points of healing.
All right. That takes me back up to full, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Dirk feels so much better now.
I'm at 64, so hopefully we can just go home. Go home and rest.
So we have how many wands and daggers did we get?
Let's see. So we're gonna say 40 wands and 40 daggers because there were 40 cultists available.
Just like Alibaba's thieves. There we go.
Mm.
Do we want to
Hell
try
yeah.
and teleport to St. Mary's or?
Oh, I got 28 for myself.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
That takes me back up to full. I'm good. Yay!
Yay!
Alrighty. So, anyone else want to get the hell out of here?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any 5th level slots?
I don't have any 5th level slots left.
I'm as a Lady Emma, the person who can cast teleportation circle.
Oh gosh, I hope
Ooh.
Lady Emma does. Because
I do have a 5th level spell left. I also have a 6th level spell, and I.
Okay, so that's fine. So if you have a 5th or 7th level slots, you can cast teleport.
Okay.
All right. All right. Do you do the quick once over the? So you picked up everything obvious. Wands and dagger. Golden robe, porcelain mask, yay or nay?
holy curse, I don't want it.
I want to sell it.
1, 2, 3, not it. Okay. No. All right. Does anybody pick any of those?
Can we
So-
destroy them?
Yes, certainly you could destroy them.
Can we just destroy them and then that way they won't be used for evil purposes? Because
Okay,
I don't
you,
think there's a way to uncurse
You
these.
put them on, you crack the mask with a hammer and burn the robe basically in a nearby brazier.
Okay, I like that.
All right, everybody picks up an inspiration
Yay!
for destroying evil artifacts. Let's see here. Okay, does anybody give? Are you going to give this place the once over before you leave, or are you just leaving?
Quick one.
Quick, I run. Okay, so everybody roll me investigation or perception at disadvantage. Doing this quick.
Investigation.
Krishana's not touching anything.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 12.
That's a 4.
That's a 5. I haven't even rolled the second one. Couldn't be worse. Yeah, it's a 5.
But just roll one or the other. Investigation or perception is better.
No, but it was investigation and perception.
Yes.
Yeah, my perception's -1. I was rolling investigation.
Hey.
Owl is clearly not wise. That's why she's cursed. And said, "Ooh, big shiny."
Perception.
Lady Emma's stats are looking really good right now.
All right, Lady Emma goes behind the crystalline yellow statue. There's a small altar here with a vestibule inside. You open it up. There's a golden ankh in here, made of a solid gold ankh with rather than an open loop, essentially where the top loop is the all-consuming maw of Azatoth. So. It's basically a hefty lump of gold.
Oh, does
Ooh.
that
Yeah.
loop fit the stone?
There's
Fit the
gold.
jade that Owl got?
Again?
Does the loop fit the little jade that Owl had from Azatoth?
Do you want to stick it in there?
I kind of want to. Not gonna lie.
Let's see here. Okay, so do Lady Emma and Owl conspire to do this or no?
Owl's just gonna walk over.
yeah.
She's Lady Emma. Wait, can I see that? And then she's looking, and then she checks her pocket and compares. It's are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
Probably not.
I'm thinking this little item looks like it could fit that other little item. You see what I'm going with?
You're the keymaster.
Exactly.
That was up a stone that looked suspiciously like it would fit in the gap in this ankh.
It's I see your Ghostbusters reference tree.
Yes. I'm just oh.
Yeah, so she just looks at Lady and then giving her eyebrows
Lady Emma's gonna shake her head and be like, "Oh Lord."
Didn't we open a portal to hell last time we tried this?
We stuck it in a column, but yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Hey guys, let's not do any experiments here until we get to a safer place, okay? Maybe this experiment needs to take place at the college so we can blow it up.
Lady Emma's gonna nod in agreement.
Or just casual terrorism of the college.
We do blow up the college a lot.
They fix it so nicely.
I know.
I was just gonna
Lady Emma during this period of time is sort of twiddling her brooch at this point, and then her ears turn into tiger ears, and that's it.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna meow.
Owl's gonna scratch.
Okay, and then we're gonna end the session with this as Lady Emma takes out her gem dust and chalks and starts describing a magic circle to get you guys out of here. Unbeknownst to Zumlar, and as we have that cinematic moment as we see one of the worms of the high priest crawl up into Zumlar's boot and appear up his.
Oh.
Oh no.
Little bastard.
And then and about that period of time, the moment where everybody sort of sinks down into the teleportation circle and disappears and then reappears. This time in where
St. Mary's.
Where is somewhere Lady Emma would know a teleportation circle address?
Ooh, I don't
So
know.
we decided to go to St. Mary's.
Well, I'm saying you wouldn't know St. Mary's, you wouldn't know Buckingham Palace.
Oh,
You actually you have to gain or privilege to go use those circles. Because those places won't just give you the.
Oh, they'll bounce you. Okay, right.
So,
Wouldn't St. Mary's give us the
I'll give you some
privilege, too?
options, Lady Emma. You know of a teleportation circle in the Golden Citadel of Tirnanog, because all of you were there. You have fond memories of traveling there. You would know another teleportation circle in the Fey Court. And you know another teleportation in the Summer Court and another teleportation circle
One in the summer court, and what was the other one?
Play Wild, Lady Emma can basically call upon noblesse oblige and basically requires them to give them to host.
Okay. I'm sorry. Repeat where I know.
Okay, so you know teleportation circle addresses: Summer Court, the Winter Court, and the Golden Citadel. So,
All right.
besides this one that you have, besides this beer hall one, you happen to have come across. The other location you happen to know of is like the other hidden base, essentially. No, never mind. You had disassembled that other teleportation circle. So,
Yeah.
the only functional one you know of is this one, and the other three I mentioned.
And I think we broke the one at Davenport's too.
Yeah, I'm gonna transport us to the summer court.
You transport yourself to the Summer Court, a Spriggan, so a fairy with like grasshopper legs that's maybe about 3 feet tall, playing a golden fiddle, propped up on a huge flower that sort of is leaning over the circle at this point, and you appear to be tiny. There's like fairy sized in comparison to like huge plants all the way around you. This circle that seems to be like lazily have been scribed in dirt, actual permanent circle. It would take a act of some like malicious god to actually break this thing, as far as Lady Emma knows. But it looks fragile, as if it just been casually scribed in dirt. It's like Spriggan looks at a lot of you. It's like, welcome back, Lady Emma. Essentially, we welcome you to the fair court. May I announce you at the grand ball, or you prefer that your coming and going happen secretly? You are most welcome here, either way.
Tell them I've arrived.
Including your great aunt.
Oh. Do we have to?
Great aunt was also one of these people that wanted was the would-be maker that basically hooked you up with your fiance. You are not on good terms with your great aunt.
No. Oh, please don't.
Of course. She will find out on her own, however, so there's nothing I can prevent that, but I announce it. So the Spriggan is one of the herald court, so he's a greeter and basically announces people. All right, so I will go and announce you forthwith, Lady. Good day to you. Please feel free to you have freedom of the grounds. You may not enter the castle proper until you have been announced. Welcome by Lady.
God, I haven't spoken to my great aunt in 300 years?
300 years?
Oh.
I basically hear.
But it feels like 600.
The Spriggan hops like some impossible distance, sort of like he hops and sort of becomes this glint of light in the sky, and you can see him continue. A speck of light basically continue to fall over the horizon here, and that's where we'll leave it for this.
Can Lady Emma end with like a quick rundown to the team?
Sure.
Okay, so quick update. I'm over 450 years old. My great aunt wanted me to set me up with, and my mother wanted to set me up with a horrible fiance to, increase power for my brother. And I really don't want her to know that we're here, but it's the first place that popped into my head.
Oh, what is up with all your royal families wanting to pair each other? It's insane.
It still seems like a real improvement on our circumstances. So it may be easier to escape from here than it was where we were before. So thank you, Lady Emma, for getting us out of there.
Owl just like gets all big and stuff. It's like, no one's gonna get you, I promise.
Well, at least we're not in the winter court. That was the only other place I think of.
Someone looking all still injured and stuff like that. stands a little bit taller. So, you know what? Protect you as well, even though I'm injured.
It'll be fine.
Don't worry, even though he has healing, he still looks like shit.
Yeah, I think we need some
I think everybody
prestidigitation before we're ready to go to court. Does anybody have prestidigitation? We started off clean with the cultists, but I think we kind of
I have a prestidigitation cantrip, so I will cast prestidigitation on all of us.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Which is probably not a bad plan. Okay, so we'll pick it up here next week as you are in Feywild this summer.
Thank you, Lawrence. That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was awesome. God, I needed that. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
That was fun.
I kind of thought we were gonna die while Ryan wasn't here, which she would have missed, but you guys pulled it out. Well done.
Hell yeah.
Good thing our paladin was here. That was a huge help.
Oh yeah, it's a team effort though.
Oh my god, no. Like, we all needed each other desperately.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
good job, team.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.